war in Gaza is over.
President Trump at a global peace summit in Egypt following an earlier speech to Israel's parliament, just hours after Hamas released the remaining living hostages under phase one of a peace plan.
Never forget and never again, said President Trump as he renewed America's bond with Israel in an address to the Knesset.
It will be the golden age of Israel and the golden age of the Middle East.
In a speech briefly interrupted by two left-wing Knesset members, the president looked to the future, declaring the forces of terror
weakened, isolated, and totally defeated.
He also told Israeli Prime Minister Benjamin Netanyahu, "You're not at war anymore," telling Israel they've won all they can win by armed force alone.
Fox's Jonathan Savage. Israel freeing hundreds of Palestinian prisoners as part of the peace plan, and in Gaza, efforts continue to recover the remains of 28 dead hostages. The Israeli military escorting some back to Israel a short time ago. President Trump says the rebuilding can now begin. Speaking with Fox's Trey Yingst, he's offering reassurance for Palestinians in Gaza.
Well, the beauty is we have some of the richest countries in the world, and you know the countries I'm talking about, and they're headed by people that really were helpful and people that I know and that I think are tremendous people. And it's not always popular to say that, but I'm telling you, they're incredible leaders and there's some incredible people. They control vast amounts of wealth, and they're willing to spend that wealth to make things good at Gaza.
He's heading back to Washington, where a government shutdown continues. The Senate plans votes again tomorrow on Republican and Democrat short-term spending bills that have failed repeatedly to win the 60 votes needed to advance. America is listening to Fox News.
93 WIBC Mobile News. On the level, on the go.
Drought conditions have been impacting Indiana. You've got fair skies now in 75 degrees in downtown Indy. I'm Jake McDaniel, and this report is brought to you by Moss Roofing. Here's what's trending at 3:02. That's happened quite a bit over the last several months.
Across the state, we are down about 5 to 7 inches of rain, and we're just not going to see that amount of rainfall anytime soon. So at this point, I would expect the drought conditions to continue, not necessarily worsening, but likely not improving as well.
Mike Ryan with the National Weather Service in Indianapolis says there will be some rain this weekend, but it won't be close to the amount of rain the state needs. Indy Metro police officers arrested 3 people earlier this month. Officers were initially made aware of this in late September.
Crime Gun Task Force detectives began that investigation, and ultimately on October 3rd, a 17-year-old male, a 30-year-old male, and a 33-year-old male, all on numerous firearms and narcotics charges.
IMPD officer Drew Brown says the 2 men were Antoine Devine Jr. and Johari Fields. As officers executed a search warrant at the home, the teenager tried to run off.
That 17-year-old was in possession of a handgun that was equipped with a machine gun conversion device. Was also found to be in possession of marijuana.
And 80% of Indiana's first responders are volunteers relying on dedicated community members. Johnette Cruz reports.
A statewide effort by the Indiana Fire Chiefs Association to recruit volunteer firefighters saw a strong turnout over the weekend, with one Bloomington open house signing up for more than 20 interested volunteers.
We're also looking for volunteers, not just we have an emergency side that might be interested in being a volunteer firefighter or a volunteer EMT.
Jason Allen, Public Information Officer with the Monroe Fire Protection District.
Then we also have just the non-emergency side with people that help with events like this, help us in large-scale incidents. They just help in a support role.
The recruitment push is backed by a federal FEMA grant and seeks volunteers for both emergency and crucial non-emergency support roles. Johnette Cruz, 93 WIBC Mobile News.
News time, 3:04. Your traffic and weather in 1 minute.
Don Fisher for QC Kinetics. I was struggling with chronic knee pain and wasn't encouraged with the options of risky surgery and pain pills. QC Kinetics offered the best option for me, cutting-edge regenerative medicine. Their non-invasive treatment stimulated my body's own biologics so I could be pain-free and get back to doing what I love, playing golf. QC Kinetics has a fantastic success rate, and it's clear to see why so many Hoosiers are happy to tell their story of how they reclaimed their lives with the QC Kinetics approach. Ready to live your life pain-free? Go to qckinetics.com/Indianapolis or call 317-559-PAIN and get a no-obligation consultation. QC Kinetics uses the latest technologies, whether it's stem cell, PRP, plasma, or a number of other advanced therapies. Call QC Kinetics. It'll be the best call you will make. Get back in the game, whatever that is for you. Call 317-559-PAIN.
WIBC traffic at 3:05. Good afternoon, Matt Bear.
All right, Jake, looking in Brownsburg right now, heading back from Indianapolis. Westbound 74 has a 3-mile delay of stop traffic right now. It's about 21 minutes on the delay, and most of it is before State Road 267. Keep that in mind when you're heading back to Brownsburg from Indy tonight. Now, approaching the north split on westbound 70, a medical emergency has 2 right lanes blocked. Traffic stop back to rural, a little bit beyond, and a crash inbound 69 exiting to I-465. Stop and go traffic back to 106th Street. Traffic sponsored by Staples. Have you heard the Staples Easy button is back with even more easy? Press it for custom print shipping services, even passport photos. Staples, that was easy. I'm Matt Bear. Follow us for instant traffic updates at WIBC Traffic.
And now the forecast from the American Standard Cooling Weather Center.
Mostly clear skies later tonight. It will be quiet with lows falling around 53. A beautiful day on Tuesday. Look for mostly sunny skies, even warmer with highs near 79. I'm Wish TV storm tracking meteorologist Tara Hastings for 93 WIBC.
I'm Jake McDaniel on the level, on the go, and on WIBC.com.
Hammer and Nigel.
Can you believe these characters are weirdos?
So let's rock it! Oh, here we go. Welcome to it. A beautiful Monday in the capital city. And Hammer and Nigel still on vacation. And you get Casey Daniels and the dude.
Yeah, Hammer and Nigel.
Yeah.
That's my second favorite show on WIBC. Did you know that?
Second favorite, huh? Yeah. What's your first?
First Day with Terry Stacy, because she is the first lady of WIBC. Of course, that would be my favorite show. She is a national treasure.
Yes, they do a good job. Her and Denny Smith and Kylie Daly. Oh, fantastic. I listened to them yesterday. I really enjoy the food news segment that they do.
It's a great show. I love it. That's why it's my favorite.
Hey, big news here in the studio, by the way.
What's that?
I'm wearing new shoes. You cannot walk a mile in my shoes because I have not even walked a mile in my shoes.
Kick them up so that so go to YouTube and search WIBC so you can see Casey's shoes. She just lifted them up there for the camera. I do like those. Those are nice.
Yeah, you know where they would look really good?
Where?
They would look really good at Brookside Park with the glow stones.
Oh, that's where the city of Indianapolis spent, is it $7 million?
$7.2
I'm sorry,
million.
I left off a couple $100,000 there. I was rounding error. $7 million on a glow-in-the-dark footpath in the park.
Yeah, the Indy Department of Public Works said that Indy residents can rejoice in the glow stones. I feel like rejoicing the $7.2 million for a path that people won't be able to see glow.
So if I'm not mistaken here, all Indianapolis city parks are open from dawn to dusk.
Till dusk.
So that means it has to be light outside for you to be inside of an Indianapolis city park. And this is a $7 million footpath that glows in the dark.
Yeah, you know what you could do? You could put you could sit down on the path and put like a blanket over you during the day,
right?
Block out the sunlight.
So that you can see some. You know what? That path would have been awesome if it was here for the total eclipse a couple years ago. The totality of the eclipse. Then the footpath would have been fabulous and beautiful. We all could have enjoyed it.
Wasn't ready in time.
The next eclipse.
Right. Millions of your dollars spent on a vanity project.
I tell you what. We've got a $7 million glow-in-the-dark footpath.
Correct.
The rehabilitation of Monument Circle almost completed.
Yeah. It is looking pretty good down there.
It looks pretty good. And the roof was open on Lucas Oil Stadium. Indianapolis is back, baby. We're back. Footpaths, monuments, open roofs.
Wait, Indy's back?
Indianapolis is back.
How's crime?
It's still awful. Worse than before COVID. Yeah, no, it's terrible.
So not completely back.
And just awful corruption in our city and state government, too. But when it comes to bright, shiny things, we are back.
Okay.
As is back
as far
for
as
all the bright, shiny things.
You know what they could do? They could take those glow rocks, those glow stones, and put them in all the potholes. Maybe that way they can find the potholes to fill them.
See, it's all about how you sell it. And you said, look, we really need money for potholes. Nah, we don't want to do that. We really need money for glow-in-the-dark footpaths in the middle of the street where there are holes. Now I'm interested.
Sign me up.
I wasn't interested before, but now I am.
We didn't want to take care of that problem before, but now, yes, we're on board.
Let's do it.
It was Donald Trump's big special day.
It's a special day.
It was his special day.
And rightly so.
Yeah. So Hamas, they released the 20 living hostages, and they freed the prisoners. Breakthrough ceasefire. It's a 20-point plan. Immediate ceasefire, hostage release, disarmament of Hamas, international oversight, reconstruction of Gaza, governance of Gaza, and then economic development. Wow. Big doings there. Lots of celebrating going on there, and rightfully so. Here's what Donald Trump had to say about it.
And after so many years of unceasing war and endless danger, today the skies are calm, the guns are silent, the sirens are still, and the sun rises on a holy land that is finally at peace, a land and a region that will live, God willing, in peace for all eternity.
Lots of world leaders gathered there. You had the president, Donald Trump, the Egyptian president, leaders from Turkey, Jordan, Britain, Germany, France, and also Italy were all there.
It is a bad day to be a Trump hater.
Yeah.
The never Trumpers, because Trump is having his day, and rightly so. I mean, if you believed that what was happening there in the Middle East was genocide, then Donald Trump just ended genocide. If you believed, leftists have called Donald Trump Hitler for 10 years. Well, Hitler just made peace in the Middle East.
Yeah.
If you believe that Donald Trump is a fascist just stopped the killing in Gaza and brought home the last 20 hostages that have been held in unimaginable conditions in tunnels beneath that city for over 2 years.
How about the leaders from the other countries that were there, though? They're kind of like the kids that say they're working on the group project when really they don't do anything but take credit for it.
But still get the A when the work comes back. The EU has never been proven itself to be more irrelevant than it is right now. Keir Starmer, Carney in Canada, Merz in Germany, Macron in France, none of them had any part in this. Not a hand in it whatsoever. Oh, sure, they showed up for the photo ops. Yeah,
right.
yeah.
Well, in fact, they almost made it worse.
Yeah, by declaring for support for a two-state solution in the last couple of weeks. Meanwhile, Donald Trump is doing everything he can behind the scenes to put pressure on Qatar and Egypt and all the other players in the Middle East to be able to get this peace deal done. And those guys are out there throwing rocks at Trump's windows unknowingly. Yeah, the EU has been proven absolutely irrelevant. Starmer, Macron, Merz, all of them did absolutely nothing to pull this off, and in fact did a lot that probably hindered it, but Trump got it across the finish line anyway.
It was interesting because while he was speaking, Donald Trump was giving Marco Rubio lots of props, which, he normally likes to take all that credit for himself, but here he is saying nice things about the Secretary of State.
And I have a prediction that Marco will go down, I mean this, as the greatest Secretary of State in the history of the United States. I believe that. I believe it. And he and I, we really fought it out. You remember, he was tough. He was nasty. Who the hell thought this was going to happen, Marco, right? And now I'm saying he's going to go down as the greatest. He will. He was always smart and sharp, and people respect him.
Little Marco.
Little Marco. So funny. It's like so Trump. He's giving him a compliment, but he has to remind you how nasty things were before.
Right. He is the best at backhanded compliment. But you've got to give Donald Trump his flowers on this. He is the only person in the entire world that could get this done through sheer force, determination, and just his personality.
Well, that's what he said. It's his personality.
It's his personality. I mean, we literally saw the art of the deal happen in real time. Donald Trump literally wrote the book on how to do this, and we saw it all play out in real time. He's the only one that could have gotten this done.
So I'm expecting celebrations across college campuses any moment now.
Right. We had protests for 2 years.
Right.
Demonstrations, a lot of anti-Semitism on college campuses all across the country. I fully expect by this weekend we're going to see tons of celebrations because this is what they wanted. They wanted peace in the Middle East, and Donald Trump gave it to them. So I'm sure not only will we see a lot of demonstrations of joy and celebration on college campuses, but a lot of those same people giving Donald Trump full credit for it, too. I'm sure that's probably part of it. Or maybe none of this had anything to do with that. It was all just a bunch of virtue signaling.
Now do Ukraine. And then, okay, you know what? We won't take anything away from him today. However, let's get back to focusing on America. Can we do that
tomorrow?
Okay.
We'll do it. Today is Donald Trump's special day. But I mean, look, this builds on the fact that Trump had the Abraham Accords in his first term as president, which were probably some of the most significant agreements in the Middle East, normalized relations with Israel and a lot of the major players in the Middle East. He's now signed this deal to a ceasefire between Hamas and Israel. If he can pull off ending the war in Ukraine before the end of this term as president,
He said he was going to do it in 24 hours.
I'll give him the next 3.5 years to pull it off. An incredible legacy, possibly unmatched in our lifetime for a president.
We were talking about this the other day, about the conflicts that he has helped resolve. Libs of TikTok said, there were 8 of them, and not including this one. So now it could be up to 9. Before we get into break, one more audio clip from Donald Trump declaring the end of all of the war in that region.
Not only the end of a war, this is the end of an age of terror and death, and the beginning of the age of faith and hope and of God. It's the start of a grand concord and lasting harmony for Israel and all the nations of what will soon be a truly magnificent region. I believe that so strongly. This is the historic dawn of a new Middle East.
Indiana, a magnificent region for sports. Boy, it was a big weekend. We'll talk about it coming up. But first, let's check in with Matt Barron, get your update on traffic.
Hey, what's up, Casey? Westbound 74 after State Road 267, a crash backing us up to Ronald Reagan Parkway. Right now, delay time is 54 minutes. I'm strongly considering US 136 for my trip from Indy to Brownsburg at the moment. Also, westbound 70, we had a medical emergency after rural that has cleared. Traffic is gone as well. Southbound 6570, construction has a slow from Washington to the south split. Inbound 69, crash clear on the exit to 465, backed up to 106th Street, 18-minute delay. Traffic sponsored by Staples. Have you heard the Staples? Easy Bunton is back with even more easy. Press it for custom print shipping services. Even passport photos, Staples, that was easy. I'm Matt Bear. Follow us for instant traffic updates at WIBC Traffic.
It is clear and 75 in the American Standard Cooling Weather Center on 93 WIBC.
Tune in Saturdays 9 to 1 for the Home and Garden Show for advice and fun. Brought to you by Michaelis. Water, storms, fire, and wet basements. Life happens. Michaelis happens to help you through it.
One of the biggest differences about Indy Decorative Concrete, other than the fact that they do fantastic custom concrete patio work, the best in Indy. The other difference is they actually have W-2 employees, real concrete finishers that work for them, no subcontractors. I think that says something a lot about a local concrete company. Many of the same guys for years. Mario Sr.'s been there since 2009. Indy Decorative Concrete did such a fantastic job replacing my old porch and sidewalk. It gave a whole brand new look and feel to my front yard and my house. They took a basic sidewalk and porch and turned it into this custom stamped concrete area with more space and an awesome, unique look. My wife and I can't believe how amazing our new front porch and sidewalk looks. IndyDecorativeConcrete.com. Whether it's a new patio, sidewalk, porch, whatever, don't do anything until you've checked out my friends at IndyDecorativeConcrete.com.
Fall in Indiana is prep season, the smart time to get your home ready before the temperatures drop and the snow gets here. Because here's the truth. Roof, siding, gutter, and window problems don't fix themselves. One missing shingle turns into a bad leak. Clogged gutters lead to ice dams. And drafty siding or bad insulation means sky-high heating bills all winter long. That's why you need Moss Roofing. Family owned right here in Indiana for over 30 years, Moss Roofing gives you a free, no-obligation inspection. They'll spot problems now, before the cold settles in, so you're not scrambling in January. And here's a bonus. Thanks to new energy tax credits and Indiana Energy Saver rebates, you could save big on insulation and efficiency upgrades. That's money back in your pocket while protecting your home. So don't wait. Call Moss Roofing today at 317-747-3665. Tell them Tony Cat sent you. 317-747-3665. Moss Roofing, 747-3665 or online at mossroofing.com. Get your home winter ready this fall with people you can trust. mossroofing.com every shingle time.
Welcome to Tire Discounters. Oh, hiya, Phantom.
Mike, I think I saw a fox on my way in.
Oh, that was the Carfax Carfox. He was congratulating us on our Carfax Top-Rated Service Center Award.
I have always rated Tire Discounters at the very top.
Oh, thanks. So does Carfax. And not just for tires, but for all our services, too.
Alignment, brakes, shocks and struts, and more.
Yes, sir.
But Mike, do you think people believe Carfax over me?
Well, you are the Phantom tire buyer.
Exactly.
Hey, Mr. C, it's me. Well, I just picked up the ring. I actually went to Hellsberg. Thanks for that recommendation. Kate's gonna love that hers is from the same jeweler you got Mrs. C's ring from. They were so helpful throughout the whole process. They even knew your family by name. And the ring looks great. Anyways, I just couldn't wait to let you guys know. Call me back and wish me luck.
Hellsberg, designed with care and craft since 1915. Shop in store or at hellsberg.com.
Oh no, stomach issues again?
Stomach issues? Who are you? Your pancreas. I could be the real reason for your diarrhea, gas, bloating, stomach pain, or loose oily stools.
I thought it was my stomach.
People often do, but any of these symptoms could mean having a condition called exocrine pancreatic insufficiency, or EPI. With EPI, the pancreas doesn't release enough enzymes to break down food, but EPI is manageable. Use the symptom checker on identifyepi.com and speak with your doctor. That's identifyepi.com. Sponsored by AbbVie.
Of all the times to buy a new Lincoln, right now is the very best time at Tom Roush Lincoln. Get 0% APR for up to 48 months on 2025 Lincoln Corsair, Nautilus, or Aviator. Plus get a $1,000 Tom Roush Trade Assist bonus. So come get that new Lincoln from Tom Roush Lincoln, where our family's been serving yours for over 53 years.
Subject to credit approval. Not all buyers will qualify. See dealer for complete offer details. Offer ends 10/31/2025.
At Advent, we help sleep apnea sufferers avoid the CPAP machine by getting your nose and throat working with our unique Advent approach that you won't find elsewhere.
AdventNose.com. You're listening to the Hammer and Nigel Show.
Mark Sanchez, former NFL quarterback and Fox Sports analyst. Well, he was released from Eskenazi Hospital and later processed by the Marion County Sheriff's Office on Sunday. Do you think that was intentional? Did they do it on a Sunday on purpose?
To kind of keep things quiet?
Keep it a little quiet?
Low profile? I'd say when you hire who is known as the best defense attorney in all of Indianapolis, it's funny how things like that just work out.
Yeah.
Yeah.
He said that he is focused on recovery and seeing his family. He said this during an exclusive Fox 59 interview.
Anything you want to say to the people of Indianapolis?
I said no. Right now I'm just focused on my recovery, and I just wanted to thank the first responders, Eskenazi Hospital. That's how you're going to get some. I just want to thank Dr. Mossler, the surgeon. She saved my life, so I'm grateful for that. Sorry I can't answer all your questions.
Are you feeling any better?
Thank you, guys. I'm recovering slowly, man.
Appreciate it.
It's a long process. All right.
So he had his arm in a sling. He was wearing a gray hoodie, and he entered the community justice campus. And they released his mugshot yesterday. And they put out a note saying normally we would put this out on Monday, but there's so much interest in this that they put it out on a Sunday. He looked a little scared in the mugshot.
Yeah, and what's going to be interesting, this is probably going to be like the last big news piece in this story for a long time, because now you're getting into, charges have been filed, and that process is going to take a very, very long time probably. So the story's not going away, but this is probably kind of the last major event that we're going to hear in this for a while.
His baby mama spoke out. They have an 8-year-old son together, and she posted to Instagram saying that she wasn't surprised by it and that her main concern was just protecting her son. She learned of the incident much like you and I did with a news alert.
Yeah, and it was interesting, she did come out and say, that she was not surprised at all of this, which I'm going to take that with a grain of salt. Obviously, they've got a past together. They've got a son together. I don't know what their relationship is like, but she's the first person in his kind of personal realm that has said that this doesn't surprise her. So everybody else has been really shocked by this.
She said she's always been concerned for his safety, meaning her son, and what he's exposed to. And at the end of the day, she's simply a mama just trying to protect her son's peace. Another big doings, IU. I was wrong. I'll admit it. I was wrong. I didn't think they were going to be able to cross the country and do what they did in Eugene, Oregon.
Now, Rob Kendall has put a big burden upon you because now you are responsible for the college football bets. Is that correct?
It's true.
It is true.
At least the Notre Dame bets. That one I got right.
That one you got right. So 2 weekends ago you were 1-0 on your college football bets. This weekend you were 1-1. So 2-1 over the last 2 weeks. That's a winning program right there. I'm going to start following your bets. But yeah, I don't think a whole lot of people went into that game thinking IU stood a chance, even with 7.5 points being given to them. We said this on Friday when we were filling in for Hammer and Nigel, that this was the game. We were going to find out if IU football is for real or not, because they looked great against bad teams last year and then lost to the two good teams, Ohio State and Notre Dame. They've looked great against a bunch of bad teams this year. We know Oregon's a really good team on the road in Oregon, and they go up there and just trounced them. I mean, that was a great game. IU is now a football school, and I'm here for it. I'm on the bandwagon.
Are you?
I'm on the bandwagon.
You're a fair weather fan?
Well,
you're okay with it?
Obviously Notre Dame is my team. But I love college football so much that I love stories like this, even when, IU's never been my team. But now I'm on board. I just love great stories in college football. And this has been one of the best stories in probably the last decade in college football, a program that has been, let's be honest, absolute trash. You and I went to an IU football game many years ago.
Half the stadium was empty.
There was like 10,000 people in the stadium. Now, granted, they were playing like Arkansas State or something like that, but there was nobody in the stadium. Tailgating was spectacular. That's where all the people were. And we went to the game. We're like, where
are the fans?
Where's everybody at?
Oh, they're outside partying.
And then if people told us, oh, no, this is like every IU football game. Oh, okay. So let's be honest. IU football was trash. And for them to be able, in a 18-month period, turn it around and be one of the top college football teams in the country. IU's ranked third.
I know, it's fantastic.
Ohio State, the Miami Hurricanes, and the Indiana Hoosiers.
Yep.
That's crazy town.
Highest ranking in program history. And Kurt Cignetti's words after he signed that contract 11 months ago, aged pretty well.
We awoke to some big news from Bloomington this morning. You signed a new 8-year deal. Congratulations on that. Curious, though, what were some of the important elements that you wanted included in that extension?
Well, honestly, they came to me. They were very proactive. And, some people say, well, why would you do that when, this one may open, that one may open, and you're going to be a hot commodity and blah, blah, blah. And the fact of the matter is, we're the emerging superpower in college football. Why would I leave?
That was a year ago.
Fantastic.
That audio was from a year ago, and he said they were the emerging superpower, and you can hear the anchors. They were kind of like,
sure they are.
You're talking trash. That's fine. Oh, no. They really are the emerging superpower
That's right.
in college
it's fantastic.
football.
I love it for the Big Ten. I love it for the state of Indiana as well.
Love it for everything. And here's the great thing. This is the rest of IU's schedule. UCLA, terrible. Maryland, terrible. Penn State just fired their head coach, James Franklin. Wisconsin and Purdue. It's totally plausible that IU could win out the rest of the season.
Hey, you mentioned James Franklin, just let go from Penn State, but not a bad day for him. Even getting fired, still gets paid $15 per minute, $913 per hour, $21,917 per week, and $153,000 per month.
Not a bad deal. I've always wanted a job where they would pay me to not come in and work, and that's exactly the deal that James Franklin got. So, good on James Franklin. He don't cry. He can dry his tears with $100 bills. Going forward.
We've got Guy Relford who's going to join us coming up for Monday Gun Day. But up next, it is your update with the news on 93 WIBC.
Garage door problems? Call today for service today. Garage Doors of Indianapolis services all makes of garage doors 24 hours a day, 7 days a week. Call today for service today. 875-4577. Call today for service today. Get it fixed right now. Call Garage Doors of Indianapolis at 875-4577 or visit doorstoday.com.
In the morning, call 875-4577. Service today.
America respects our first responders and veterans, the brave whose business is taking action when calamity strikes. It's dangerous work, often surrounded by sirens, shouting, even gunfire, so hearing loss is probable. First responders can turn to Relay Indiana. If you have trouble hearing on the telephone, visit RelayIndiana.com for voice recognition technology phones that allow the hearing impaired to have normal phone conversations. And there's loaned equipment for those who qualify. Get clarity back on the phone. Visit RelayIndiana.com.
You get up early on snow days because snowed in is not an option. The Kubota Snow lineup of compact tractors, RTVs, and versatile attachments are built to thrive in the winter. Right now, bring home select Kubota equipment with 0% financing available or save up to $5,250. Now through December 31st. See us or go to KubotaUSA.com for full disclaimer.
Stop by McAllister Machinery in Indianapolis to see their full line of Kubota or visit them online at McAllisterKubota.com.
Let's go! You're still glowing, flirting, grooving. You still got it. But your immune system weakens as you age, making it harder to fight flu, pneumococcal pneumonia, RSV, and COVID-19. Vaccines are a key part of any health routine and help strengthen your immune response. Ask your doctor or pharmacist which vaccines you need. Schedule in minutes at VaxAssist.com. Sponsored by Pfizer.
So, where's the lake?
Not here.
But it says Great Lakes Honda of Fishers.
Right. I just don't see a lake.
Well, who needs a lake when you can lease a 2026 HR-VLX all-wheel drive for $309 a month and 0 down?
That definitely won't soak our bank account.
Oh, it's the old Honda of Fishers.
Great Lakes, great people, great cars.
But no actual lake. Visit our showroom off State Road 37 today. Tax and title fees not included with approved credit through Honda Financial. In-stock new Hondas only. 10,000 miles a year, not combinable with other offers. Loyalty or conquest rebates may apply. Offer ends October 31st. See dealer for details.
93 WIBC Mobile News. On the level, on the go.
President Trump on the way back to Washington. Partly cloudy skies and 74 degrees in downtown Indy. I'm Jake McDaniel. Here's what's trending at 3:32. This was after a trip to the Middle East to celebrate a new peace deal aimed at ending the war in Gaza.
President Trump was scheduled to return here to the White House just after midnight. He's been running several hours behind schedule. Perhaps he'll make up a little time on Air Force One on the way home, but it should be sometime overnight. Now, after a historic day in Israel, the scene shifted to Egypt. President Trump visiting Sharm el-Sheikh to meet with world leaders talking about the future of Gaza.
This took 3,000 years to get to this point, and it's going to hold up, too.
The president says the war in Gaza is over. On his victory lap in the Middle East, he's urging world leaders that the time to start planning phase 2 of a broader peace agreement has arrived.
And that's Fox's Mike Emanuel reporting. The peace agreement is signed, but it's still far from finished. It still needs to be figured out who will run Gaza after the fighting and if Hamas will disarm. For now, 4 of the dead Israeli captives have been released, but 24 are still held. A new study shows that 40% of deadly car accidents are linked to marijuana. Scientists at Ohio's Wright State University looked at the blood levels of nearly 250 drivers killed in accidents over 6 years, and they found that a large number of them had elevated levels of THC, which is found in pot. The lead researcher says this study proves that driving under the influence is a serious public health risk. Showers and thunderstorms are possible in Indiana this coming weekend. Here's John Herrick.
The rain is likely to move in Saturday night and linger into Sunday. That's the message from Mike Ryan. He's a meteorologist at the National Weather Service in Indianapolis.
Also going to bring something we haven't really dealt with much this fall, and that's kind of those stronger gusty winds that come with these stronger systems.
He says the storms could be strong or severe, especially in southwest Indiana. John Herrick, 93 WIBC Mobile News.
And Apple is rebranding its streaming service by dropping the plus from its name. It will be known simply as Apple TV. The tech giant announced the change today while we're revealing the streaming premiere of the Brad Pitt blockbuster F1 the movie. Apple says the new simpler name gives the service as vital vibrant new identity. News time is 3:34. Your traffic and weather in 1 minute.
It's time. You've been putting off that kitchen or bath remodel long enough. What are you waiting for? Get started today with Boer Remodeling. Boer Remodeling customer Kathy had a bath remodel with Boer. Kathy, talk a little bit about your experience.
Our experience with Boer has been terrific. The process was so easy and seamless. When we decided to do a larger remodel of our first floor, Boer was the first company we thought of hiring.
And were you happy with the results?
The results are amazing, and we are so happy with our home and the work that Boer did.
Peter is another recent Boer Remodeling customer with a new kitchen. Peter, what was the best part about working with Boer?
We especially liked the active participation that we were able to have in selection of stone for the countertops. Really came out beautiful. The cabinets also came out very, very well.
The best materials, the most skilled craftsmen in Central Indiana. They'll guide you through the entire process. Start with a free consultation. Talk to Boer Remodeling today. That's BOOHER, BoerRemodeling.com.
You've got WIBC traffic at 3:35. Here's Matt Bear.
All right, we cleared the crash on the northeast side, southbound 69 to 465, but now we have a stall southbound 69 before 96. The center lane is closed. Traffic backed up to 106, 6-minute delay. Eastbound 70 coming in from the airport way out on the west side. This is a stall on the through portion to I-70, not the exit ramps. This is eastbound 70 at 465. Center lane is currently closed because of a stalled vehicle. Downtown Illinois at 11, traffic lights are flashing red. Also a crash south end of downtown. This is West Street south of Morris. Southbound 6570 stop-and-go traffic, Michigan Street into the South Split, and westbound 74 heading to Brownsburg, still jammed from Ronald Reagan Parkway past State Road 267, a little over 3 miles on that delay because of a crash. Traffic sponsored by Indy Decorative Concrete. Transform your backyard this fall with Indy Decorative Concrete. Get a free outdoor furniture set with their best stamped concrete patio package. Hurry, offer ends November 1st. Visit IndyDecorativeConcrete.com for details. I'm Matt Bear. Follow us for instant traffic updates at WIBC Traffic.
And now your American Standard Cooling Weather Center forecast. Looking into tonight, expect mostly clear skies with lows in the mid to lower 50s. Temperatures will rise into the upper 70s tomorrow with mostly sunny skies. I'm Jake McDaniel on The Level on the Go and on WIBC.com.
The only way to bag a classy lady is to give her 2 tickets to the gun show.
It's Monday Gun Day with the gun guy.
Just watch out for the guns. They'll get you.
Guy Relford.
Stop calling your arms guns.
The Hammer and Nigel show.
You can hear him on Saturdays from 5 until 7. 10 years you've been working on that program. Congratulations. Also a Second Amendment attorney, Guy Relford, in the studio. And how are you?
I am great, and I always want to thank our sponsor for Monday Gun Day. That's Premier Arms in Brownsburg, with the largest selection of new, used, and historic firearms in the Midwest, and PA Jewelers, located in the farmhouse right out front. Check them out at 3754 South Green Street in Brownsburg or premierarms.com.
Mm-hmm. All right, we have to talk about this story out of Fishers.
Yeah.
This guy was charged with multiple felonies after allegedly pointing a gun inside Joe's Bar and Grill. But was it a gun? Is it considered a gun?
Yeah, see, this is really interesting. This guy apparently is a knucklehead on several different levels, was in there and apparently intoxicated and started threatening people. And at one point he pulled out what the callers to 911 reported to be a gun. Mm-hmm. Fishers PD responds. Turns out it's not a gun. It's something called a Byrna launcher. Mm-hmm. And it looks, if you looked at one, to the uninitiated, it's going to look like a typical firearm, but it's not. It's actually powered by CO2, kind of like a paintball gun, mm-hmm. or, your CO2 pistol if you grew up with those as a kid, firing BBs or pellets. But it fires, it's designed to fire a couple different things. It can fire an OC round, what we call it, which is basically pepper ball. Mm-hmm. So it hits somebody, it sort of explodes, it hits a body, and then it hits them with essentially pepper spray. This one was loaded with a 68 caliber kinetic round. What that is a hard plastic. It's hard polymer that's designed to, like a rubber bullet, mm-hmm. that cops may fire at riots, kind of like that. And but he was waving this thing around and threatening people with it. Said he was a member of the FBI terrorism task force, which they can't verify, which is why he's also been charged with impersonating law enforcement, but was charged with three different intimidation with a deadly weapon charges, and then 2 different criminal recklessness with a deadly weapon. And it's kind of interesting because the issue comes down to, is this thing really a deadly weapon? Because it's designed to not be a deadly weapon for people who don't want to use a deadly weapon or cannot legally carry a deadly weapon like a firearm. That's a big issue too. And so I think it's going to be an interesting case that gets prosecuted there in Hamilton County Superior Court.
So I have shopped one of these at Premier Arms. Well, it was before I took lessons from you.
Well, now we need to just back up right there for just a minute, by the way, because you need to brag just a little bit. You and I, it was a good friend of yours, and we went together.
Yeah.
And I gave you some very minimal instruction.
Yeah.
And then we went out on the range. And how did you do, by the way?
I did all right.
Oh, hold on.
I did all right.
When you go by Casey Daniels' office here at WYBC, what do you have up on the wall?
I've got my Target.
Yeah.
Hanging in my office.
And why did you put that up on the wall?
Well, because I got some center mass.
Come
That's
on,
why.
brag on yourself a little bit.
You're a
very good shot.
Don't mess with center me. Mass. She was drilling all bullseyes. She had other people on the range stopping shooting, coming over, watching her shoot.
Yeah.
Because she was hitting all bullseyes. And
You're
of course,
a good
I wanted to
instructor.
take all
You're
credit
a good
for
instructor.
that.
As you should take all the credit for that. Yes.
But no, that was just, you're just a badass is what it is.
Oh, well, thank you. So are you. And you are a good instructor. And I always, the one takeaway I always have was just the breathe.
Yeah.
And then, but
front side focus.
The thing was about this projectile that this guy in Fisher, okay, they're saying that if you do fire it at someone's head or neck or spine, it could cause serious injury or death.
And it says that in the owner's manual.
Yeah.
And that's where they're getting this deadly weapon, because they're saying if you hit someone in just the right place, head, neck, or spine, exactly as you say, then now you could cause you could cause death in that situation. Although deadly weapon isn't only necessarily a weapon that can cause death, because it's a weapon capable of causing serious bodily injury, which can be something much less than death, even something including inflicting severe pain. Or loss or dysfunction of a bodily member or organ as part of the definition. So there's different parts of it, but it's just interesting because people carry these because they're like, I won't get in the same trouble I would if I was carrying a gun with this. And here's a guy now charged with 5 different felonies that typically we only see when people are charged with carrying a firearm or using a firearm illegally.
Multiple felonies, and the pretrial hearing is scheduled for December 9th.
How clear is the law on these less than lethal weapons like this? Like, for example, if you're a convicted felon, you can't carry a firearm. Does that include one of these? I mean, how clear is the law on this?
It's such a good question because the definition of firearm, both in Indiana and at the federal level, says a weapon that expels a projectile by means of an explosion.
Okay.
And so a lot of times people looked at that and said, well, explosion, that connotes combustion. And if you're not burning gunpowder, then that's not an explosion. If it's just a CO2 gun like this one or an air pistol, then that's not an explosion, quote unquote. But you look up the definition of explosion in Webster's, what's it say? It says the sudden release of gases.
Oh, so CO2 is totally
is
a part
the CO2
of that.
a gas?
Yeah.
And there are some states that have either amended their law or have cases that say, an air rifle includes or is a firearm to the extent it expels a projectile by means of the sudden release of gas, whether it's oxygen or just CO2. And so we don't have a case like that in Indiana. So people tend to believe, without necessarily legal authority to support the proposition, that they can carry a CO2 or air rifle because it doesn't meet the definition of firearm. For instance, if they're a prohibited possessor, if they're a felon or otherwise prohibited. And I've always told them, I go, well, we don't have a single case in Indiana that says, okay, you're a felon in possession or a violent felon in possession of a firearm and you're going to jail because you were carrying an air pistol. We don't have that case from the Court of Appeals or Supreme Court of Indiana. The statute doesn't say that, but you look at the definition, and I always tell people, make your own decision, but it is susceptible to that definition.
So the biggest takeaway I'm hearing is if you're buying one of these less than lethal guns, thinking that you're reducing any potential legal liability you might have if you that's probably that's unclear at this point.
I think that's a really smart way of putting it.
Okay.
And I think that's a great way of putting it. What I tell people, first of all, I don't recommend them. If I have some 300-pound meth head that just kicked my door in the middle of the night.
Yeah.
I don't know. By the way, I don't know how many 300-pound meth heads there are.
That's a hungry meth head.
Yeah,
good appetite.
But if I have some crazy person, drunk person, drugged out person to just kick my door in, do I want to shoot him with a burner?
Yeah.
I mean, no. I'm going to shoot him with something that's going to stop the threat and stop the threat immediately. And so that's where I come from. But I recognize, though, there are people out there that say, well, I don't want to take a human life under any circumstances.
Sure.
Even if I'm about to die, even if my family's about to die, I don't want to take a human life. Hey, that's a personal decision. I respect that. Then maybe one of these things is for you. What I would not recommend, to your point, which is such a good point, is if you're prohibited or otherwise you want to wave it around in a bar and do something knuckleheaded that you think you can get away with because it's not a firearm, that's not a good decision.
There's 3 different types of projectiles that can come from that, right?
Well, there's at least 2. There's the what they call the kinetic rounds, which are inert. They're just solid plastic. And then there's the OC rounds, or the pepper ball.
Pepper ball, yeah, that's what I was thinking. All right, I'm going to put you on the spot. We have to take a break, but there's a couple more topics that I wanted to get to. Can you stay for one more segment?
Always.
I know you're super busy. That's why we love him so much. Yes. More with the Gun Guy coming up on the Hammer and Nigel Show on 93 WIBC.
It's the Medicare Advantage annual enrollment period, and Humana knows not everyone has the same needs when picking a Medicare Advantage plan.
Now that I'm retired, I want to enjoy the life I've worked hard to build. So I want a plan that covers me when I'm traveling the country.
Humana has a plan for that.
As a veteran, I want a plan that fills in the gaps my VA coverage doesn't provide, like dental care.
Humana has a plan for that.
I feel good about my health. I just want care and coverage with predictable costs. No surprises.
Humana has a plan for that. With a Humana Medicare Advantage plan, you get coverage and benefits that focus on what matters most to you. Learn more at gethumana.com. Humana, a more human way to healthcare. Humana is a Medicare Advantage HMO and PPO organization with a Medicare contract. Enrollment in any Humana plan depends on contract renewal. Change is always happening. It's part of life. And when it comes to music, change is all around us. Songs are rewritten, classics are remixed, bands and artists come and go. Even our taste in music changes. Here at Xfinity, we know there's still good in keeping some things the same. That's why we want to do our part with a 5-year price guarantee on our internet. It means no matter what changes, you get 5 years of the most reliable Wi-Fi with our best equipment included for a price that stays exactly the same. Surprised? Life is full of them. One internet price, 5 years, guaranteed. Learn more at xfinity.com/deals. Restrictions apply. New residential customers only. Taxes and fees extra and subject to change. Most reliable Wi-Fi based on Open Signal Awards USA. Fixed Broadband Experience Report, August 2024.
Pat Sullivan here with a weather update. It's October, and we still have no clue if your AC should be blasting or your furnace needs to start kicking. Better have both prepared with a $49 AC unit and furnace maintenance from Hope Plumbing, Heating, and Cooling. Is it sweater weather or tank top weather? Nobody knows. But we do know that you can ensure total comfort inside your home for only $49. Call my friends at Hope Plumbing, Heating, and Cooling today.
Of all the times to buy a new Lincoln, right now is the very best time at Tom Roush Lincoln. Get 0% APR for up to 48 months on 2025 Lincoln Corsair, Nautilus, or Aviator. Plus get a $1,000 Tom Roush Trade Assist bonus. So come get that new Lincoln from Tom Roush Lincoln, where our family's been serving yours for over 53 years.
Subject to credit approval. Not all buyers will qualify. See dealer for complete offer details. Offer ends 10/31/2025.
20 ribeyes for $35. That's 20 ribeyes for $35 at 2 locations in Indianapolis going on now. 20 ribeyes for only $35 in the Hardee's parking lot near Walmart at West 86th Street and Michigan Road. Just look for the big truck. Also in the Hardee's lot at the corner of Franklin Road and Pendleton Pike. Also on the big truck is cases of T-bones, fillets, New York strips, burgers, and a whole lot more. Big truck sale. Marinated chicken breasts too. Don't wait. Big steak sale at 2 different locations. In the Hardee's parking lot near Walmart at West 86th Street and Michigan Road. Also in the Hardee's lot at the corner of Franklin Road and Pendleton Pike. 20 ribeyes for just $35. Don't wait. Everything must go. Last chance this week. Big truck sale. That's 20 ribeyes for $35. West 86th Street and Michigan Road, and the second location in the Hardee's parking lot at the corner of Franklin Road and Pendleton Pike. Get there before the truck is gone.
This is Jim with Jim's Heating and Air Conditioning. If you need help in Boone County or Hamilton County, give us a call.
Just go to jimsheating-air.com. Jim's Heating and Air Conditioning is your trusted local independent American Standard air dealer.
Transform your backyard this fall with Indie Decorative Concrete. Get a free outdoor furniture set with their best stamped concrete patio package. Hurry, offer ends November 1st. Visit indiedecorativeconcrete.com for details.
Want in on special WIBC contests?
That is correct.
Join the Text Club. Text WIBC to 317-239-9393. Exclusive giveaways are just a text away.
Well, let's get an update on traffic with Matt Bear.
All right, south of downtown, stay away from West Street, south of Moore Street. This is a serious crash. Multiple ambulances have been called, and right now that southbound lane is really jammed up. Again, a crash, West Street, south of Moore Street. 2 cars involved, entrapment confirmed. Also, southbound 69 before 96th Street, a stall blocking the center lane. Traffic jam back to 106 for a 6-minute delay. Eastbound 465 before Atlasonville Road. Crash, 2 left lanes blocked, traffic stopped. Back to Westfield Boulevard, downtown, southbound 6570. Stop and go traffic from Michigan Street to the south split. That is road construction. Brownsburg, westbound 74 jammed up for a couple of miles before State Road 267 because of a crash. Traffic sponsored by Indie Decorative Concrete. Transform your backyard this fall with Indie Decorative Concrete. Get a free outdoor furniture set with their best stamped concrete patio package. Hurry, offer ends November 1st. Visit IndieDecorativeConcrete.com for details. I'm Matt Bear. Follow us for instant traffic updates at WIBC Traffic.
And it is partly cloudy and 75 in the American Standard Cooling Weather Center on 93 WIBC.
You're listening to the Hammer and Nigel Show.
And we're continuing on with Guy Relford, the gun guy, because we have so much to talk about. Right now, Jim is holding up my target.
So this was requested by the YouTube chat. By the way, you can watch us on YouTube. Just go to YouTube, type in WIBC.
Yeah.
But the YouTube chat was requesting, after we were talking about how Casey completely, lit up the range when she was there with Guy Relford and how good of a shot she was. I wanted to they requested the target that is hanging in your office, so I went and took it off the wall in your office, and this is what we're looking at right now. This was your result.
Five bullets, 1 hole.
Lest you think I was exaggerating, the highest praise we ever give to a shooter out on the range when we're shooting bullseyes is a 1-hole shooter. That's right, where all your bullet holes touch each other. And what we're looking at right now, ladies and gentlemen, is 1 hole. It's 1 jagged hole. That's as good as it gets out on the range. That's a tight group, and that's why I was bragging on you earlier. I'm so glad that you went and got that, because that proves my point.
What distance was this from approximately, guys? Is this about 10 yards? Is that usually what
about
we do?
About 10 yards.
Okay, yeah. But that's I've always been told that's where most encounters happen. At that distance.
Well, to your point, it's actually 10 feet or less.
Okay,
is where 90% of self-defense shootings happen. So you can shoot like that at 10 yards, 30 feet, then you are well equipped to defend yourself with a handgun, and that's why I was so excited to see that.
I believe the handgun that I was using was a Glock.
It was a Glock. Strange you should say that.
Well, you know what? Because I think I was either going to do the SIG or the P. Walther, and you said no. Let's do the Glock because it was the bigger of the guns. That
was my Glock.
Was it yours?
Yeah, well, I don't know. Or yours.
I thought it was mine.
Well, no, I forgot what you brought to the range, because I always have a Glock in my range bag when we go. So no, if you own one, I'm sure it was yours.
Well, I think I remember you saying, no, let's train on the big one. But speaking of Glocks, I brought that up because you had directed me to this. The California Governor, Gavin Newsom, he signed AB 1127, which prohibits firearm dealers from selling Glock and Glock platform pistols into law.
Yeah, think about this. An entire, I know we don't have much time.
No.
An entire manufacturer has been banned in California. And the ostensible reason is because you can take one of these and modify it to be fully automatic. So they go, well, you can modify it to be a machine gun, which is illegal. It's illegal in Indiana. It's illegal federally. It's illegal in California. If you illegally modify this gun, oh no, that's a bad circumstance we don't want in California. So we're going to ban the entire Glock line of handguns. And of course, it's California, so we can't be too shocked. What's going to be really interesting is NRA's already, and several other gun rights groups, are already talking about suing them.
Sure.
They're going to sue them. We'll see if this stands up under a Second Amendment analysis. And let me tell you right now, not a chance in hell.
So they're saying, once again, they're attempting to violate landmark Supreme Court decisions.
Absolutely. Well, the Heller decision from
NRA
2008.
saying that.
Yeah, absolutely, saying that if a firearm, type of firearm is commonly used for lawful purposes by U.S. citizens, then it's legal and it's protected by the Second Amendment. This is the most commonly owned handgun in America. How's that going to play out?
Yeah. So most likely that will go to a court. Thank you so much for coming in and doing the double shot.
It's great to see you guys. Absolutely.
Same here.
You're listening to the Hammer and Nigel Show. It is 93 WIBC.
About Indy Decorative Concrete, other than the fact that they do fantastic custom concrete patio work, the best in Indy. The other difference is they actually have W-2 employees, real concrete finishers that work for them, no subcontractors. I think that says something a lot about a local concrete company. Many of the same guys for years. Mario Sr.'s been there since 2009. Indy Decorative Concrete did such a fantastic job replacing my old porch and sidewalk. It gave a whole brand new look and feel to my front yard and my house. They took a basic sidewalk and porch and turned it into this custom stamped concrete area with more space and an awesome, unique look. My wife and I can't believe how amazing our new front porch and sidewalk looks. IndyDecorativeConcrete.com. Whether it's a new patio, sidewalk, porch, whatever, don't do anything until you've checked out my friends at IndyDecorativeConcrete.com.
Our electric bills have increased as much as $50 each month. Governor Mike Braun is driving bills even higher. Instead of helping families, Governor Braun is doubling down on costly coal, gas, and nuclear. That means more pricey power plants that Hoosiers like us have to pay for. Utilities get richer, we pay more. Something has to give. Go to StopMikesHikes.com today to send Governor Braun a message. Hoosiers need affordable energy, not a blank check for greedy utilities. Paid for by Citizens Action Coalition.
You've got your whole life ahead of you, so choose a Medicare plan you can count on. And that's what you get with a Medicare Advantage plan from United Healthcare. With more than 45 years' experience serving its members, United Healthcare has plans with low monthly premiums that fit your life today and as your needs change tomorrow. The Medicare annual enrollment period ends December 7th, so go to uhc.com/Medicare today. United Healthcare Medicare plans. It's Medicare coverage Indiana can count on.
Struggling with chronic joint pain? Don't want risky surgery or endless pills? QC Kinetics is your answer. Our non-invasive treatment stimulates your body's own biologics and has a fantastic success rate without lengthy recovery or harmful medications. Ready to live your life pain-free? Go to QCkinetics.com/Indianapolis or call 317-559-PAIN and get a no-obligation consultation. Whether it's stem cell, PRP, or a number of other revolutionary therapies, QC Kinetics should be the last call you make. Call 317-559-PAIN.
Are you nearly maxed out on your credit cards? It doesn't matter if you're using your credit cards for fun or to survive. At the end of the month, your statements come in, and you can either pay them or you can't. If you can't, late fees and interest rates get tacked on. And now you're struggling just to make the minimum payment due. Do you feel trapped? Am I talking to you? Good, because I personally researched some companies that can help you. They may be able to reduce your credit card balances by 50% and stop the late fees. If you qualify, please call our special debt hotline number right now for a complimentary free 5-minute consultation. Deal with your credit card problem now before it gets much worse and put more money back in your pocket. Trust me, I've been there too. Call right now.
800-948-1659. 800-948-1659. 800-948-1659. That's 800-948-1659.
Look, switching point of sale systems is a total nightmare, right? But here's the thing. Shopify POS makes switching easier. A Shopify POS expert, a real human being, helps with setup and data migration. No need to be your own tech support, because with Shopify POS, you get support for free. You'll also get a free card reader and 25% off POS subscription fees. Switching your POS is easier with Shopify. Eligibility requirements apply. To learn more, visit shopify.com/switch now. That's shopify.com/switch now.
You're listening to 93 WIBC, WIBC HD1 Indianapolis. It's 4 o'clock.
Relief in the Middle East. I'm Lisa Brady, Fox News.
It was a joyous day across Israel as so many families were celebrating being reunited with their loved ones. 20 living hostages freed from Hamas captivity.
Fox's Trey Yingst in Tel Aviv. 28 other hostages are believed to be dead. The Israeli military escorting 4 bodies to a national lab for analysis. This as Israel frees hundreds of Palestinian prisoners under phase 1 of a U.S. peace plan that President Trump envisions as a new dawn for both Israelis and Palestinians in the region, emphasizing a multi-nation rebuilding effort for Gaza and acknowledging the mass return of Palestinians to the Strip in recent days.
And they're walking back to a house that's demolished, to a building that's demolished, to places that are not even recognizable. But when I looked in the faces of those people, I saw good people.
Will they be able to stay in Gaza?
I think so. I hope so, yeah.
The president visiting both Israel and Egypt, where more than 30 nations were part of a peace summit today before he headed back to Washington. President Trump also vowing again to end the war in Ukraine. He has a White House meeting set for Friday with Ukraine's President Zelensky, who says the main focus will be possible new weapons to put more pressure on Russia for peace.
European countries now purchase weapons to be sent to Ukraine. Zelensky's long-wanted longer-range capabilities. On Sunday, President Trump told reporters aboard Air Force One it is appropriate to bring up the possibility of sending Ukraine Tomahawk missiles with Russia.
Do they want to have Tomahawks going in their direction? I don't think so. I think I might speak to Russia about that, in all fairness. I told that to President Zelensky because Tomahawks are a new step of aggression.
But he said if the war's not going to be settled, he may send them, and that Russia does not want that.
Fox's Jessica Rosenthal. Wall Street rallies, the Dow up 588 at the bell. America is listening to Fox News.
93 WIBC Mobile News. On the level, on the go.
Expect a mostly dry week. You've got partly cloudy skies, 75 degrees on Monument Circle. I'm Jake McDaniel. Here's what's trending at 4:02. High temperatures will be in the 70s throughout Indiana this week.
But it will remain dry throughout the week and may see some additional clouds Tuesday night into Wednesday. Otherwise, going to be a relatively quiet week.
Mike Ryan with the National Weather Service in Indianapolis believes that will change this weekend when rain is supposed to move in, and there could be some storms with it. A Gary Uber driver's fast reaction may have led to charges against a passenger already on his way to work release. He's now facing an indecent exposure charge. Ryan Hedrick has more.
It was last Monday in Gary when a woman driving an Uber picked up a guy named Isaiah Johnson. Johnson was already out on bail for another crime when he hopped into her front seat, and a couple of minutes into the ride, things got tense and strange. Johnson started making sexually suggestive comments and then exposed himself multiple times to this woman. 2 days later, state police spoke to Johnson. State police just made the information public and said they've charged Johnson with the crime. Ryan Hedrick, 93 WIBC Mobile News.
The Indianapolis Colts are 5-1 after they beat the Arizona Cardinals yesterday. 31-27. They play the Los Angeles Chargers this coming Sunday, kickoff at 4:05 Eastern. And more than 300 chefs from around the world are competing for nearly $500,000 at the World Food Championships in Indianapolis this week.
This goes all the way back to 2018, 2019, working with then Lieutenant Governor Suzanne Crouch and talking about some different approaches for tourism promotion. And the idea is that if you could create a narrative that was built around culinary.
Larry Dickerson, founder of Culinary Crossroads, told Inside Indiana Business the World Food Championships kick off this coming Thursday at the Indiana State Fairgrounds and run through this Sunday. WIBC News Time is 4:04. Your traffic and weather in 1 minute.
By now, you've heard about IndianaUnclaimed.gov. It's a way to claim your unclaimed property from the Indiana Attorney General's Unclaimed Property Division. It's not a scam. It's not houses, boats, cars, or storage facilities. It isn't free money. So what exactly is it? It's your money. It belongs to you, and it's waiting for you to claim it. It's money from unclaimed wages or commissions, forgotten bank accounts, underlying shares, refunds, insurance proceeds, stock dividends, safe deposit box contents, overpayments, certificates of deposit, money orders, and more. The Indiana Attorney General's Unclaimed Property Division safeguards those funds while trying to locate and return those funds to the owner or heir. It's your money, you deserve it, and the Attorney General's office wants to make sure you get it. The Attorney General's Unclaimed Property Division has over $800 million just waiting to be claimed. Text Hammer and Nigel to 46220. That's Hammer and Nigel to 46220. Or visit IndianaUnclaimed.gov to claim yours today.
It's 4:05. Your traffic now with Matt Bear.
South side crash on West Street between Raymond Street and Morris. And this is a spot to avoid right now. Stop traffic going in both directions from the railroad tracks. Southbound 65 70 jammed up from the north split down to the south split, and northbound 65 also stop and go before Raymond into the south split. Northeast side crash eastbound 465 before Allisonville Road. 2 left lanes blocked. Traffic jammed back to Westfield Boulevard, delayed 12 minutes. Inbound 69 crash before 96th Street. This is blocking the center lane slow back to 106. Downtown Illinois at 11th Street. Traffic lights are not working there, flashing red. And on the south side, eastbound 465 slow before 65. Heading to Brownsburg, westbound 74, stop and go traffic. Ronald Reagan Parkway to State Road 267 because of an earlier crash. Traffic sponsored by Staples. Have you heard the Easy Staples? Easy button is back with even more easy. Press it for custom print shipping services. The even passport photos. Staples, that was easy. I'm Matt Bear. Follow us for instant traffic updates at WIBC Traffic.
And now the forecast from the American Standard Cooling Weather Center.
We're in for a quiet, mostly clear and chilly Monday night with low temperatures falling into the low to mid 50s. And then we're in for a warmer and bright Tuesday. High temperatures by Tuesday afternoon will be in the upper 70s with dry air and light winds in place. But then we take a step backwards with our temperatures by Wednesday in the middle of the work week, as high temperatures only get into the upper 60s to lower 70s by Wednesday afternoon. I'm Wish TV Storm Track 8 meteorologist Stephen Deanna for 93 WIBC.
I'm Jake McDaniel, on the level, on the go, and on WIBC.com.
Hammer and Nigel.
Can you believe these characters are weirdos?
So let's rock it! Hammer and Nigel both on vacation today. It is Casey and the Dude in the studio. I got tagged in a tweet. Somebody said, I expect nothing less than fat jokes, fart discussion, and booze news from you and Jim today. Well, I know it's not exactly the same. We'll do our best. Within the hour, we are going to have a woman where she does talk about her hammers.
Nice. Okay, so it checks one of the boxes. Now we just got to talk about fat dudes and booze. That's
Okay.
all. So we got 1 out of 3, but 2 hours left.
We're
3
doing the
hours
best
left.
we can here, okay? President Trump, he addressed the Israeli parliament, and he did that before he traveled to Egypt for a peace summit to mark the first steps of the U.S. brokered ceasefire between Israel and Hamas, the final 20 remaining living hostages taken by Hamas on October 7th. They were returned to Israel as part of the exchange, and it's this 20-point plan. And Donald Trump has since left Egypt, and he's now on his way back to the United States. When did they say he was going to arrive?
After midnight tonight is
Yeah.
when he'll get back into Washington, D.C. in the White House.
It's a long trip. Just ask Eric Holcomb when he flew to Egypt.
And both of them made those trips on our tax dollars.
Yeah, they did.
I'm a little
didn't
bit more
they?
comfortable with Trump doing it.
Yeah, it is his special day. Good news coming out of the Middle East. But he said this on his way there before they got on Air Force One.
I see a lot of my friends. This is going to be a good one. So this is going to be a very special time, and I guess if you read your own papers and your own networks, everybody's very excited about this moment in time. So I'll see you on the plane. I think you're traveling with us, but this is a very special event. They had 500,000 people yesterday and today in Israel, and also the Muslim and Arab countries are all cheering. Everybody's cheering at one time. That's never happened before. Usually if you have one cheering, the other isn't. The other is the opposite. This is the first time everybody is amazed and they're thrilled, and it's an honor to be involved. And we're going to have an amazing time, and it's going to be something that's never happened before. So I'll see you on the plane, and we're going to have a good time. Okay, Peter? Nice to see you. Thank you, everybody. See you in a little while.
Did you just point out Peter Ducey from Fox News?
They're like buddies, man.
Yeah.
They're like bros.
Nobody else gets called out, but Peter Ducey does.
They're about to get their own buddy cop TV show probably as soon as Trump's done with the presidency.
As soon as he's done with that other little thing that he's working on.
Yeah, side project.
He'll move on to that. But yeah, it is good news. And I mean, fingers crossed that it sticks. That is the big thing that everybody is just kind of holding their breath for. Like, this is great news. We want peace. We want peace in the world. And if Donald Trump can bring it, fantastic. But fingers crossed that it sticks.
Fingers crossed on that, but we did get something absolutely concrete taken care of today, and that is the 20 hostages that were returned. So imagine this. Those people were taken hostage in October 2023. They were most likely kept in tunnels beneath the city, completely no idea what's going on in the world. So 2 years. You have no idea what's going on in the world.
Flashback to when they were taken.
October 2023. So today, you get flown by a helicopter to a hospital. Then you're thrust into the spotlight. Reporters, photographers, meeting the Israeli prime minister and the president of the United States, who you find out today is Donald Trump, because when you were taken hostage, what you knew about Donald Trump is that he had just been indicted and had terrible ratings. Looked like Ron DeSantis was going to become the next, the Republican nominee. So, I mean, just a whole nother aspect to that, yes, obviously it's a huge deal, but the shock that they must have been in to understand what was going on in the world when things looked so different 2 years ago when they were taken.
Just how much has changed since then.
How much has changed? And you're there meeting with Netanyahu, who was the prime minister when you were abducted, but you're meeting with Donald Trump, who you find out is the president of the United States and is the man who is, for the most part, single-handedly responsible for your release today.
Yeah, that's incredible. Some other things are changing. I don't know if you caught this one. On Friday, Donald Trump had his second routine yearly checkup. Can you call it a yearly checkup when you have two in 1 year?
Where you're Donald Trump, you call it whatever you want.
They declared him in exceptional health, and they gave him a COVID booster shot while he was there. He had a flu shot and also a COVID booster shot. They said that's to prep for his upcoming travel, this travel that he is on right now.
And there's a lot of people, using this as a gotcha moment on Twitter. Oh, the Republicans don't like COVID, but they gave Donald. The guy's 80 years old, or almost 80 years old. That's reasonable. Look, there are certain people in the population that COVID was really bad for you. If you had comorbidities. If you were of a certain age, you were much more susceptible to getting COVID and much more susceptible for it to be really, really hard on your body. So I think the fact that a 79-year-old man is getting a COVID shot is not some gotcha moment on this. If you're young and healthy, you probably don't need a COVID shot. But if you're 80 years old, not the worst idea in the world.
So he's been called very active, said he feels good physically and mentally. The only real thing that I've yes, he was diagnosed with that chronic venous insufficiency. It looks like, there's been some swelling in his ankles. But the only thing I've really noticed is that his hair is turning silver. And it's always kind of had that reddish tint to it.
Yeah, a little bit of blonde.
Yeah, I think it's starting to turn silver.
They always make a big deal out of these, the president releases the results of his annual physical. And I remember going back to Ronald Reagan. It's always, the president is in fantastic health. And then they usually throw, he's got a little dry skin. Something that doesn't really matter all that much. He's a little irritable from time to time. But there's no news that ever comes out of these presidential annual checkup reports. I mean, we never got any real hard breaking news on Biden's health in 4 years, did we? It was really only afterwards that we found out all the gory details of that.
So Trump, the oldest president ever inaugurated back in January, and health rumors, they've circulated, but his doctor says that, nope, he's fit for duty. Did you see this, that there's a proposal for a triumphal arch in Washington, D.C., in the traffic circle in front of Arlington National Cemetery?
I did see that. I saw the artist renderings of this, and it looks. I'm no expert on architectural arches, but it looked to me a lot to be like the Champs-Élysées in Paris.
Right.
Very, very similar. Very grand and stunning archway.
I want to know how they're that.
Well,
those things aren't free.
No, but to Trump's credit, when he built or is building the $200 million ballroom, none of that's being done with taxpayer dollars. That's all privately funded.
It is all privately funded.
So I would expect that the our version of the Champs-Élysées is going to be hopefully privately funded. It is really nice. It looks very European, very regal, and very fancy.
There's a statue on top of it that looks kind of like Victory that's here on Monument Circle.
Whatever it ends up being, it'll be the greatest arch in the world. People will come from miles around to look at our arch.
Another memorial in Washington, D.C.
Yeah. That one seems to be a little bit more functional, though. I mean, you're going to be able to drive through it and
drive around it. It'll be a circle. Very much.
You mean so they're putting in a roundabout?
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Interesting. Roundabouts are taking over the world, not just here.
Aren't they? So House Republicans, especially Speaker Mike Johnson, under some pressure to end the recess, get everybody back to Washington. We will talk about, because I don't know if you heard, government's still shut down.
Is that thing still going on?
Still going on. J.D. Vance was doing all the talk shows over the weekend. He said some things that we are going to get to. But up next, is this anything? But right now, let's check in with WIBC's Matt Bear.
All right, Casey, looking at eastbound 465 before Allisonville Road. Crash. 2 left lanes blocked. Traffic is stopped. Back to Westfield Boulevard, a delay time of 14 minutes. East side crash southbound 465 at Washington Street. Right shoulder blocked. Traffic slow 270. Inbound 65 now slow from west to Meridian. Southbound 6570 stop and go traffic. North split down to the south split because of construction. Also downtown, it's Illinois. At 11th Street, traffic lights are now working there, flashing red. Please avoid West Street south of Morris Street. That is a serious crash with multiple injuries, and right now, West Street's jammed up from the railroad tracks and a little bit more in both directions. Please stay clear. Traffic sponsored by Staples. Have you heard? The Staples Easy Button is back with even more easy. Press it for custom print shipping services, even passport photos. Staples, that was easy. I'm Matt Bear. Follow us for instant traffic updates at WIBC Traffic.
Thanks, Matt. It is partly cloudy and 76 in the American Standard Cooling Weather Center on 93 WIBC.
If you have Medicaid and are new to Medicare, you may qualify to enroll in a Humana Medicare Advantage dual eligible special needs plan with a lot more benefits like dental, vision, and hearing, along with helpful support when you need it most. Now is the time to see if you qualify to enroll. It only takes a few minutes to find out if you're eligible. Our licensed sales agents are ready to help you understand your options. So this Medicare planning season, we can help you plan well. Learn more at humanaduals.com. Humana, a more human way to healthcare. Humana is a dual eligible special needs HMO SNP plan with a Medicare contract and a contract with the state Medicaid program. Enrollment in any Humana plan depends on contract renewal.
This is Denny Smith, and C&J's having a water quality sale of whole home protection for what matters the most. Better water for your family. Remove forever chemicals, solids, and metals from the water you cook with and drink. Invest in a softener and a reverse osmosis, UV, or dechlorinator and save $400. Invest in 2 components and save $800. City Water or Well Water, C&J, official partner of the Indiana Pacers and Fever, has great systems and great people too. 317-733-SOFT.
So, where's the lake?
Not here.
But it says Great Lakes Honda of Fishers.
Right. I just don't see a lake.
Well, who needs a lake when you can lease a 2026 HR-VLX all-wheel drive for $309 a month and 0 down?
That definitely won't soak our bank account.
Oh, it's the old Honda of Fishers.
Great Lakes, great people, great cars.
But no actual lake. Visit our showroom off State Road 37 today. Tax and title fees not included with approved credit through Honda Financial. In-stock new Hondas only. 10,000 miles a year, not combinable with other offers. Loyalty or conquest rebates may apply. Offer ends October 31st. See dealer for details.
Bet365 is paying out before the final whistle.
Check out Bet365's unrivaled early payout offer. When you bet on a team to win and they take a 17-point lead, you get paid no matter the final score. Forget the final whistle and start counting that cash. Hold up. You get early payout on parlays, too.
Download the app and see why it's never ordinary at Bet365. Gambling problem? Call 1-800-9-WITH-IT. 21 plus only. Must be physically located in Indiana. T&Cs apply.
Hey, Mr. C, it's me. Well, I just picked up the ring. I actually went to Hellsberg. Thanks for that recommendation. Kate's gonna love that hers is from the same jeweler you got Mrs. C's ring from. They were so helpful throughout the whole process. They even knew your family by name. And the ring looks great. Anyways, I just couldn't wait to let you guys know. Call me back and wish me luck.
Hellsberg, designed with care and craft since 1915. Shop in store or at hellsberg.com.
You're still glowing, flirting, grooving. You still got it. But your immune system weakens as you age, making it harder to fight flu, pneumococcal pneumonia, RSV, and COVID-19. Vaccines are a key part of any health routine and help strengthen your immune response. Ask your doctor or pharmacist which vaccines you need. Schedule in minutes at vaxassist.com. Sponsored by Pfizer.
Of all the times to buy a new Lincoln, right now is the very best time at Tom Roush Lincoln. Get 0% APR for up to 48 months on 2025 Lincoln Corsair, Nautilus, or Aviator. Plus get a $1,000 Tom Roush Trade Assist bonus. So come get that new Lincoln from Tom Roush Lincoln, where our family's been serving yours for over 53 years.
Subject to credit approval. Not all buyers will qualify. See dealer for complete offer details. Offer ends 10/31/2025.
There's one name for every home system. Chapman. Heating, air conditioning, plumbing, drains, electrical, and now proudly serving Bloomington. Remember the man for all seasons, and now more reasons. Chapman. ChapmanHeating.com.
Hammer and Nigel presents
It depends upon what the meaning of the word is.
Is this anything?
All right, let's rock and roll.
Is This Anything? Brought to you by the Attorney General's office here in Indiana. The Attorney General's office reunites Hoosiers with over $1 million in unclaimed property every single week. Fast, easy, and free. Search it at indianaunclaimed.gov. Here we go. Is this anything? Pop singer Katy Perry and the former Prime Minister of Canada, Justin Trudeau. They made their rumored romance official. I guess it's undeniable at this point because the pair, they were spotted kissing and cuddling on her yacht. Sparks fly on the high seas. She was wearing a black one-piece, and his hands were on her lower back.
Oh, that's a nice way of putting it. I'll reference Rob Kendall here. Rob Kendall and I agree on a lot of things. Mm-hmm. Music is not one of them.
Yeah.
But in this specific instance, he and I do agree that Teenage Dream from Katy Perry is one of the top 10 greatest songs of all time.
Mm-hmm.
That is an absolute scientific fact, and that's where she got the song. You put your hands on me.
Mm-hmm.
my skin tight jeans.
Right.
Be your teenage dream tonight. That's playing out in real life there on her yacht.
She's trying to be Justin Trudeau's teenage dream. So she just ended her engagement to Orlando Bloom back in June. And Justin Trudeau and his wife, they announced their separation back in 23 after being married for 18 years.
So in June, she ended things with Orlando Bloom, which they weren't married, but they were together, have at least one kid together for probably 10 years or so. She took a good 3 or 4 days to mourn that relationship, and then boom, straight to the former Prime Minister of Canada. Just right back on that horse, girl. That's the way you got to do it.
Yeah, so how about that for just being a couple of insufferable people? They belong together,
They
right?
do. Can you imagine? Being in a relationship with Katy Perry?
Or Justin Trudeau?
And jump off that yacht into the shark-infested waters in a second.
Oh, okay.
It's the worst.
Remember this embarrassing moments in Justin Trudeau history?
On a personal level, I've made sure that every single day in this office, I put Canadians first, that I have people's backs. And that's why I'm here to tell you all that we got you.
We got you.
Even in the very last days of this government, we will not let Canadians down today and long into the future.
You know what every woman wants? Just a strong man to protect them.
That's she's going to have to keep looking because he's one of the biggest beta males around.
Wasn't he crying at one point during a press conference?
Look, Justin Trudeau was an absolute dumpster fire for Canada. They're still trying to dig out of the disaster that he was for the last 10 years. Provinces like Alberta are talking about secession, like not just talking about it, but seriously taking steps to move to secede from Canada. Trudeau was maybe one of their worst prime ministers in history.
All right, well, it's time to play a game. This is Katy Perry or Scary Harry Mary. I'm channeling Hammer and Nigel on this one.
How do we play? How do we play this game?
We've got some audio clips coming up, and you have to decide: is this Katy Perry or is this a Scary Harry Mary?
Okay.
Are you ready?
Who's playing?
Both you and Allison.
Both.
I love it.
Are we playing against each other?
No, you're just playing together. Let's see.
Team effort.
Come to a consensus, all right?
Okay, got it.
I like this. I feel comforted.
You did really well on Friday. You got 5 out of 5.
I'm still riding that high.
Yeah.
On Beatles trivia.
I know. So hopefully you'll do just as well.
And remember, only one of us in this studio was alive when the Beatles were a band.
All right. We're all alive. And Katy Perry singing.
It wasn't me and it wasn't Allison. Yeah.
Okay, here we go. Katy Perry or Scary Harry Mary. Here's your first clip.
I hope they can see the unity that we modeled and replicate that and understand that we weren't just taking up space, we were making space for the future.
What do we think?
Iconic Katy Perry moment right there.
Just dripping with pretentiousness.
Yeah.
It's got to be Katy Perry.
That's when she was on the Blue Origin, when they took that
when
flight.
they were on the space flight, the Jeff Bezos space flight, and she thought that she was breaking all sorts of barriers.
Yes.
And then she kissed the ground when she got back.
After being in space for like
10 minutes?
Or not even at space.
It was essentially like a really fancy hot air balloon. Let's settle down, Katy Perry. All right, settle down.
Well, good job. You got that one. Okay, here we go. Katy Perry or Scary Harry Mary?
I would like to talk to you sometime soon. If you could give me a call, I would appreciate it. Thanks. Bye.
What do we think?
You know what? Can I answer this one?
You can answer.
I know this one.
Yeah.
This is a Mary, because I know who that Mary is.
You want to tell?
It's Casey's mom. I think that's a voicemail that she left you, isn't it? Her name's Mary Ann.
Her name's Mary.
Yep.
And when mom calls and says, call me, man, that's scary.
Step to it.
You better call her back right away.
Mama needs a phone call.
Yeah, so good job. Yes, that was a Scary Mary. All right, here we go. Katy Perry, Scary Harry Mary.
What is that? On your ear.
Ear?
No, your left ear. Is that a hair gel?
Yeah.
Great. I could use
No, you don't have to. You don't.
I just ran out.
Hair gel. Yeah, hair. Do you know that one, Allison? Do you know where that's from?
It sounds like it's young Katy Perry.
That is actually from the movie Something About Mary.
Cameron Diaz.
Spoiler alert.
Cameron Diaz. Yes.
Spoiler alert, it's not hair gel.
No, it's not
It's not hair
I
gel.
did get that part.
Yeah,
So
it's
that was
not hair gel.
a scary, hairy,
And that is scary.
Mary.
Yeah, that
scary, hairy
qualifies.
Mary.
Yeah.
All right, here we go. Katy Perry, Scary, Hairy Mary.
I needed to give you all of my love. Hi. Hi, how old are you? Why do we all talk in little voices? Oh, they smell so good. They're small little animals full of love. Listen, I was not a dog person until I got a dog. Oh, pee-pee. Oh, you're gonna step in it. And then you're gonna go on me. Are you licking your brother's pee-pee? That's weird.
Okay, guys. Is that Katy Perry?
Lots to unpack in that clip.
I think that was scary Katy Perry. Did we mix
there
the
you
two?
go.
I think we mixed the two categories.
There you go.
I mean, I'm going to go with Katy Perry on
Yeah,
that, but that
Allison,
was
you agree with
Scary
that?
Katy Perry.
Yeah. That was Katy Perry. That was from a BuzzFeed YouTube show that she did where she just sat around and talked about puppies. And then they brought puppies in.
Oh, what a dream job.
hard to believe that didn't take off, huh? What, would they get 2 episodes of that in the can and then they canceled it?
Here's her last one. Katy Perry or Scary Hairy Mary?
I went in again and I did that pass on the part that says, Ray Murdoch, just a shot away. So I had to go up another octave.
All right, Allison.
Mary J. Blige?
A good guess. You're in the you're warm. You're warm.
You know what it is, don't you, Jim?
I know what it is. Yeah.
Okay.
That is
So you think it's a Scary Hairy Mary?
I definitely think it's a Mary.
Yeah. You'd be correct.
That is Mary Clayton, who famously sang backup in the Rolling Stones song "Give Me Shelter."
Yes, she
Whoa.
said they woke her up at 3 a.m. She had curlers in her hair, and they picked her up and drove her down to the studio.
It's great. It's the greatest rock and roll song of all time.
She's talking about
true.
that.
Give me
It is-
shelter.
It is the Hammer and Nigel show. Oh, by the way, I think you guys got them all right. Yeah.
Yeah, I think team effort. We
didn't
did.
even realize that.
Yeah, congratulations.
Allison still undefeated when we fill in for Hammer and Nigel.
That's right. She
Thanks
is.
to you.
It is the Hammer and Nigel show. It's 93 WIBC.
Our electric bills have increased as much as $50 each month. Governor Mike Braun is driving bills even higher. Instead of helping families, Governor Braun is doubling down on costly coal, gas, and nuclear. That means more pricey power plants that Hoosiers like us have to pay for. Utilities get richer, we pay more. Something has to give. Go to StopMikesHikes.com today to send Governor Braun a message. Hoosiers need affordable energy, not a blank check for greedy utilities. Paid for by Citizens Action Coalition.
Hi, I'm Dustin, your friend and jeweler at Shane Company. As director of diamond sourcing, it's my job to make sure every single diamond is worthy of a Shane Company engagement ring. Our team travels the world to see diamonds in person and handpick each one. That type of dedication only comes from working for a company that's been a family business since 1929. No matter your budget, your diamond is guaranteed to be the most beautiful because a friend wants you to pick from only the best. Drop by your store or shaneco.com and see for yourself. Shane Company, your friend and jeweler.
Struggling with chronic joint pain? Don't want risky surgery or endless pills? QC Kinetics is your answer. Our non-invasive treatment stimulates your body's own biologics and has a fantastic success rate without lengthy recovery or harmful medications. Ready to live your life pain-free? Go to qckinetics.com/Indianapolis or call 317-559-PAIN and get a no-obligation consultation. Whether it's stem cell, PRP, or a number of other revolutionary therapies, QC Kinetics should be the last call you make. Call 317-559-PAIN.
It all comes down to this, folks.
Yep, the entire season is on the line.
But my throat has officially thrown in the towel. Sounds like you need Vicks VapoCool drops. They're max strength and vaporize sore throat pain.
Whoa! These VapoCool drops hit fast.
Speaking of fast, did you just see that play?
Yeah, he vaporized that ball.
That pun should have come with a penalty.
Vaporize sore throat pain with Vicks VapoCool drops. Use as directed.
Garage door problems? Call today for service today. Garage Doors of Indianapolis services all makes of garage doors 24 hours a day, 7 days a week. Call today for service today. 875-4577. Call today for service today. Get it fixed right now. Call Garage Doors of Indianapolis at 875-4577 or visit doorstoday.com.
In the morning, call 875-4577.
Service today?
Today.
93 WIBC Mobile News. On the level, on the go.
Heading back to Washington,
partly cloudy skies, 75 degrees in downtown Indy. I'm Jake McDaniel, and this report is brought to you by Moss Roofing. Here's what's trending at 4:33. That's what President Trump is up to today after he wrapped up his trip to the Middle East, celebrating a peace deal that ended the 2-year war in Gaza.
President Trump thanked Egyptian President al-Sisi, who hosted the talks last week that led to the breakthrough in Gaza and the release of hostages today. He recognized the terrible loss of 3 Qatari negotiators who died in a tragic car accident after the deal was agreed to. 20 living Israeli hostages returned home today. 4 of the 28 dead hostages returned from Hamas to their families here in Israel. We expect more in the coming days.
Fox's Jennifer Griffin reporting, Trump said that mediators are moving ahead with the next steps of the 20-point peace plan. The plan, which he designed to stop the war that began 2 years ago, now includes phases 2, 3, and 4 of the agreement. Dry weather and above normal temperatures have been the weather theme in Indiana lately, but WIBC's John Herrick reports on how that might change.
Rain is supposed to arrive in Indiana starting Saturday.
We are beginning to see a potential signal for severe weather later on Saturday to our southwest, mainly lower Ohio Valley and then down further south into the Mississippi Valley.
Mike Ryan's a meteorologist with the National Weather Service in Indianapolis. He says those storms could also linger into Sunday.
But it will be something that we need to monitor because this is going to be a stronger storm system than ones we've seen here over the last month or so.
Along with the heavy rain at times, he says it could also bring about some high wind gusts. John Herrick, 93, WIBC Mobile News.
Not everyone is thrilled with the NFL's choice of Bad Bunny as performer for the Super Bowl halftime show this coming February. Fans are launching a petition to replace the King of Latin Trap with the King of Country, George Strait. Over 1,000 signatures were collected. And now your WIBC closing bell report. At the closing bell, the Dow closed the day up 587 points to 46,067. The S&P 500 rose 102 points to 6654, and the Nasdaq gained 490 points to 22,694. You're 1 minute away from traffic and weather. It's 4:35.
When people think sleep apnea, they think CPAP. Now at Advent, we do all we can to help sleep apnea sufferers avoid the CPAP machine. And most sleep apnea sufferers who come to Advent are going to be able to avoid a CPAP altogether. Our unique Advent approach using simple in-office solutions can get your nose working and throat open all under one roof. You see, the root of every snoring and obstructive sleep apnea problem lies within the throat, nose, or both. At Advent, we know when we get the nose and throat working properly, most snoring and sleep apnea problems will subside. And we have the most simple and convenient, ultra-effective in-office solutions that can do just that. And this is why people have traveled by planes, trains, and automobiles from corners of the world you would never think of to find the sleep apnea and snoring relief you won't find elsewhere.
Go to adventknows.com to schedule your appointment because Advent knows when you breathe well, you live better. AdventKnows.com. Most insurance accepted.
WIBC traffic at 4:36. Matt Bear, what you got?
36-minute delay on the northeast side. It's eastbound 465, stopped after Meridian to Allisonville Road because of a crash, blocking 2 left lanes. Now on the south side, crash on the exit ramp from northbound 65 to Raymond Street. That ramp is open, partially blocked, and once you move past that, you'll have stop-and-go traffic. Raymond Street into the south split. Also on the south side, serious crash. West Street south of Morse around the railroad tracks. Please avoid the area, and that is West Street between Morris and Raymond. We have a 2-car crash, multiple injuries. 1 person was trapped inside of a vehicle. Traffic sponsored by Indy Decorative Concrete. Transform your backyard this fall with Indy Decorative Concrete. Get a free outdoor furniture set with their best stamped concrete patio package. Hurry, offer ends November 1st. Visit IndyDecorativeConcrete.com for details. I'm Matt Bear. Follow us for instant traffic updates at WIBC Traffic.
And now the forecast from the American Standard Cooling Weather Center.
We're in for a quiet, mostly clear and chilly Monday night with low temperatures falling into the low to mid 50s. High temperatures by Tuesday afternoon will be in the upper 70s with dry air. But then we take a step backwards with our temperatures by Wednesday in the middle of the work week, as high temperatures only get into the upper 60s to lower 70s by Wednesday afternoon. I'm Wish TV Storm Track ABD meteorologist Stephen Deanna for 93 WIBC.
I'm Jake McDaniel on the level, on the go, and on WIBC.com.
You're listening to the Hammer and Nigel Show.
Both Hammer and Nigel are on vacation. My name is Casey Daniels. Jim is joining me in the studio today. So the Speaker of the House, Mike Johnson, he said that Chuck Schumer is incapable of telling the truth. He said after 44 years in Congress, he pretends not to understand the Senate's rules. He went on to say that every 8th grader knows this from civics class, that it takes 60 votes to end the Schumer shutdown. And since they only have 53 Republicans, they have to have a handful of state Democrats to do the right thing. You pointed out something interesting because I was like, what day are we on? 12 or 13 of the shutdown. And it is day 13. And how do we know it's 13?
Because it started on August 1st.
October 1st.
October 1st. So you can track the shutdown throughout the month of October. Whatever date it is, that's how many days we've been in a shutdown. Today's October 13th, shutdown day number 13.
Yeah. J.D. Vance was on a lot of the Sunday shows, and he said that the Democrats are hostage-taking because you can't negotiate with one person who's taken the entire federal government hostage over a health care policy dispute. He went on to criticize the Affordable Care Act and the enhanced tax credits, calling them rife with waste and fraud. That was during an interview with Face the Nation.
Yeah, if we're being honest about this, the Republicans have passed a clean continuing resolution that has already passed the House of Representatives. Donald Trump has said he would sign it. The Democrats keep, it's not called filibustering in the Senate, it's called cloture, but you need 60 votes to end discussion. Republicans don't have 60 votes. The Democrats are not allowing discussion to continue. So if you just follow, what he's trying to say here is that if you just follow your 8th grade civics, it's the Democrats that are responsible for shutting down the government because they're not agreeing with the plan that's already passed the House.
So J.D. Vance went on and he said that the Trump administration is open to extending the Affordable Care Act enhanced tax credits, but they're due to expire at the end of the year to some of the people who receive them now.
What is your vision for that health care policy? Do you want these tax credits to fade out over time, extend them, and then fade them out? Are you open to making them permanent?
Well, the tax credits go to some people deservedly, and we think the tax credits actually go to a lot of waste and fraud within the insurance industry. So we want to make sure that the tax credits go to the people who need them. We also think that Obamacare gave the health insurance industry a lot of ridiculous regulations that if we cut out, we could give people access to better health care at a lower cost. That's what we're working on. And again, I think there's a lot of agreement, actually, Margaret. That's the crazy thing about this. There's a lot of willingness to negotiate, a lot of willingness to compromise from both the moderate Democrats and certainly from the White House. But if the far left Democrats, led by Chuck Schumer, are going to shut down the government and refuse to open up the government unless they get everything they want, that's not a negotiation. That's a hostage taking, and we're not going to reward that kind of behavior from Washington, D.C.
He went on to say that, yeah, they'll be happy to negotiate over healthcare policy, but only once you do your job and open up the government. We're not going to negotiate this now. Let's open the government, and then we'll have this conversation.
And this is a classic political move that politicians, both at the state and federal level, do all the time. They try and slide stuff in when it has nothing to do with what's being discussed. What we're discussing is about a continuing resolution that'll fund the government. The House of Representatives has passed a clean continuing resolution, and the Democrats are trying to slide in at the last minute here something about, Obamacare subsidies.
So one other thing that they discussed was that, well, obviously on Friday, Donald Trump started laying off federal employees, and he has ordered the Secretary of War, Pete Hegseth, to find and use available funds to pay U.S. troops by October 15th, despite the government shutdown. Allison, if you could go skip ahead to number 21, here is J.D. Vance, and he's explaining how the Trump administration will use the income tax revenue and tariff revenue to pay the U.S. military.
A lot of this will come from incoming revenues to the Internal Revenue Service, tariff revenue, but also income tax revenue that is going to make it possible for us to pay our troops. And this is another reason why President Trump's decisive action on tariffs is one of the reasons why we have the money in the Treasury to actually be able to pay our troops. So it is one of the critical things that we've done, of course, to reshore America's industrial base, to create good jobs in the United States of America. But the tariffs have also given us a little bit of financial flexibility so that we can keep on as many essential services as possible, including, most importantly, paying the troops.
Okay, so in a court filing that happened on Friday, they revealed plans to lay off at least 4,100 federal workers across multiple agencies. Here's a breakdown of it. Health and Human Services, 1,100 employees. Treasury, almost 1,500 employees. Education, 466. 314 from Commerce, 187 from Energy. Homeland Security, 176 employees. HUD, 442 employees. And the EPA, 10 to 30 employees. And the interesting thing is that FTC is closed, but Tim Burchett, he was on with Tucker Carlson, and he was talking about how leadership actually said that they weren't going to stop any of the insider trading because the people need the money, and now there will be nobody there to police that.
So you're talking about the, famously Nancy Pelosi has made, famous because she's made millions and millions of dollars in the stock market, allegedly on insider information that she has, with her U.S. House seat. And what he's saying here is that that regulatory process is overseen by the Federal Trade Commission, but now there's not enough people at the Federal Trade Commission to start enforcing things like that. I don't know why it's a big deal. They certainly weren't enforcing things like that on members of Congress before. So again, what we've talked about forever. So the government shut down, and you're telling me nothing has changed. Gotcha. Okay, fine. Good to know.
So one thing that you may notice about today, you're not getting any mail. That's because it's a federal holiday. It's Columbus Day.
Columbus Day. When we were driving into the station today, I noticed, I was like, gosh, it's kind of quiet downtown today.
It is quiet
And then we were looking out on the circle when we got here. It was like, not a lot of oh, federal holiday. So, yes, no post office employees, no federal employees, banks are closed, that sort of thing. So a lot less people downtown today.
Yep, exactly.
Look, you had to walk in Columbus's shoes to see what he went through. People thought the world was flat, for crying out loud.
Who cares? It's what he did.
He discovered America is what he did. He was a brave Italian explorer. And in this house, Christopher Columbus is a hero. End of story.
So...
Classic Tony Soprano.
From The Sopranos.
I love Tony Soprano.
Proud Italian.
He can get worked up about anything. He can get worked up about, getting the short end of the stick on a mob deal. And, whether or not Christopher Columbus is talked about positively in the history books.
So there might be something in your junk drawer that could be worth a lot of money. And Costco quietly building a multi-billion-dollar clothing empire. That's on the way with the Hammer and Nigel show on 93 WIBC.
Fall in Indiana is prep season, the smart time to get your home ready before the temperatures drop and the snow gets here. Because here's the truth. Roof, siding, gutter, and window problems don't fix themselves. One missing shingle turns into a bad leak. Clogged gutters lead to ice dams. And drafty siding or bad insulation means sky-high heating bills all winter long. That's why you need Moss Roofing. Family owned right here in Indiana for over 30 years, Moss Roofing gives you a free, no-obligation inspection. They'll spot problems now, before the cold settles in, so you're not scrambling in January. And here's a bonus. Thanks to new energy tax credits and Indiana Energy Saver rebates, you could save big on insulation and efficiency upgrades. That's money back in your pocket while protecting your home. So don't wait. Call Moss Roofing today at 317-747-3665. Tell them Tony Cat sent you. 317-747-3665. Moss Roofing, 747-3665, or online at mossroofing.com. Get your home winter ready this fall with people you can trust. mossroofing.com, every shingle time.
Comcast Business can help turn your small business into a connected, secure, modern business. It's how retailers become constantly connecting must-visit shops. How restaurants become reliably up and running neighborhood favorites. How healthcare offices become the data-protecting caregivers that we all depend on. And how wealth management firms become cyber-securing guardians of your information. With reliable connectivity, enhanced cybersecurity, and Wi-Fi backup, your business can stay connected and get threat ready with Comcast Business, powering possibilities.
Get started with our reliable business internet. Plus, stay connected when you add Wi-Fi backup for just $35 a month. And ask about a $400 prepaid card on a qualifying gig bundle. Call today. Restrictions apply. Wireless Connect requires business internet for additional monthly charge. Taxes and other fees extra. Prepaid card offer ends 11/16/25.
Of all the times to buy new Lincoln, right now is the very best time at Tom Roush Lincoln. Get 0% APR for up to 48 months on 2025 Lincoln Corsair, Nautilus, or Aviator. Plus, get a $1,000 Tom Roush Trade Assist bonus. So come get that new Lincoln from Tom Roush Lincoln, where our family's been serving yours for over 53 years.
Subject to credit approval. Not all buyers will qualify. See dealer for complete offer details. Offer ends 10/31/2025.
Truck drivers, don't miss out on the unmatched consistency of a Schneider driving job. At Schneider, you can find a driving position that fits your lifestyle and goals, all while getting the pay you deserve. Plus, Schneider drivers operate state-of-the-art, well-maintained equipment and have access to award-winning benefits and a 24/7 support team. Explore Schneider's huge selection of driving jobs today and find your perfect fit at SchneiderJobs.com. That's SchneiderJobs.com.
20 ribeyes for $35. That's 20 ribeyes for $35 at 2 locations in Indianapolis going on now. 20 ribeyes for only $35 in the Hardee's parking lot near Walmart at West 86th Street and Michigan Road. Just look for the big truck. Also in the Hardee's lot at the corner of Franklin Road and Pendleton Pike. Also on the big truck is cases of T-bones, fillets, New York strips, burgers, and a whole lot more. Big truck sale. Marinated chicken breasts too. Don't wait. Big steak sale at 2 different locations. In the Hardee's parking lot near Walmart at West 86th Street and Michigan Road. Also in the Hardee's lot at the corner of Franklin Road and Pendleton Pike. 20 ribeyes for just $35. Don't wait. Everything must go. Last chance this week. Big truck sale. That's 20 ribeyes for $35. West 86th Street and Michigan Road, and the second location in the Hardee's parking lot at the corner of Franklin Road and Pendleton Pike. Get there before the truck is gone.
Want to be part of the conversation without waiting on hold?
We're sorry. All of our representatives are still assisting other customers.
Join the Text Club. Direct access to your favorite WIBC show. Text WIBC to 317-239-9393.
Let's check in with Matt Bear and get a traffic update.
All right, north side, eastbound 465 before Allisonville Road. 2 left lanes are blocked. Traffic is stopped back to Meridian 31 delay at 51 minutes. On the south side, avoid West Street between Morris and Raymond Street. That's because of a 2-car crash from earlier this afternoon. Multiple injuries involved. Somebody was trapped inside of their vehicle. Again, that's West Street between Morris and Raymond. Please stay clear on your way home. Crash northbound 65 to Raymond Street on the exit ramp. The ramp is open, partially blocked here for the moment. Also, Fishers northbound 69, a stall before 116th Street. Blocking the left lane, no delay, a bit of a slowdown. Inbound 69 is delayed 5 minutes, 106th Street, 282nd. Traffic sponsored by Indy Decorative Concrete. Transform your backyard this fall with Indy Decorative Concrete. Get a free outdoor furniture set with their best stamped concrete patio package. Hurry, offer ends November 1st. Visit IndyDecorativeConcrete.com for details. I'm Matt Bear. Follow us for instant traffic updates at WIBC Traffic.
We do have clouds and 75 now in the American Standard Cooling Weather Center on 93 WIBC.
You're listening to the Hammer and Nigel Show.
Check your junk drawer. This item from 2007 could be worth up to $50,000.
From my junk drawer?
From your junk drawer, yeah. It's an article about the first generation Apple iPhone. You got one of those still laying around?
I do not.
Yeah.
No, and if I did, it wouldn't be new and sealed in the box.
Yeah, it originally sold for $499. And if it is new and sealed and still in the box, you could get up to $20,000 for it. Or if you have the 4G model, that one sold for $190,000.
So, this is kind of
what is going on?
This is kind of up my alley, but with collectibles. But collectibles have really gotten crazy, and people are paying incredible amounts of money for things that we never thought would be collectible. Whether it's some of the dumbest things like video games, vintage video games.
An unopened Super Mario Brothers from 1985 sold for $660,000.
Over $500,000. So old video games, VHS, Pokemon, old game tickets from old sporting events, magazines, comics, vintage toys. Now, for things like the iPhone and VHS and video games, for those to be worth, those kind, tens of thousands of dollars, even hundreds of thousands of dollars, they need to be usually specific rare copies, and they generally need to be brand new in the original sealed packaging for them to command that kind of price.
If you were one of those guys that used to collect, like, I don't know, Transformers or Star Wars action figures, and you just put them on a shelf and you never played with them, wow, you could fund a house deposit for some of these toys now.
Star Wars action figures from the 70s go for insane amounts, hundreds of thousands of dollars, but it's because nobody kept them new and sealed. Everybody opened them and played with them. And the same thing, who bought an iPhone in 2007
and then didn't use it?
Then never used it?
So I'm just going to hold this.
I mean, it would be some sort of like freak accident, or you bought this, and I bought 7 of them, and I was going to give them to my employees because I run a business.
Right.
But one quit, and so I just put the 7th one in my drawer, in my desk drawer at work, and forgot about it. It's going to be some bizarre confluence of events that have to stack up like that. But if you're one of those people that's got one, you can cash in on some serious bucks with these things.
I think this article is a little misleading because it said check your junk drawer. Nobody's got an unsealed iPhone in the box or a sealed iPhone in the box in their junk drawer.
I'm trying to think our junk drawer. We've got like those 3M command hooks, a ton of like pens and pencils and that sort of junk, screwdriver. Like
there's
some
a
coasters,
lot of different cables for different
an
USB ports.
Incredible amount of charging cables for devices probably going back to the early 2000s. Like my Motorola Razr phone charger.
Is that worth anything?
Probably still sitting in our junk drawer. No, because it's not new and in the box. It's been used.
So they're saying that even original Harry Potter books,
first edition, absolutely, first edition Harry Potter books. I think there were less than 1,000 copies. I think it was around 500 copies of the very first edition of Harry Potter. They were only sold in the United Kingdom. Absolutely tens of thousands of dollars, depending on their condition. Yeah.
Bought it for $20. Now it could be worth $50,000. So the U.S. collectibles market was valued at $62 billion last year, and it's projected to reach $83 billion by 2030, growing at 5.3% annually.
Hey, Mr. Wonderful from Shark Tank is knee deep into it. He just paid, for the most expensive sports card in history a few weeks ago.
This is the Hammer and Nigel Show. It's 93 WIBC.
What if you had the smartest Wi-Fi? If you did, it'd be Xfinity, of course, and it'd come with their best state-of-the-art equipment. It would boost speeds to the devices that needed them most, prioritizing your most important connections, whether you were streaming, gaming, or gaming while pretending to work. And it would let you stream 4. That's right, 4 games on one screen. It would even power your mobile connection so you could bring faster, secure Wi-Fi speeds with you where you use it most. It would be proactive and fix problems before you knew you had them. Impressive, right? And it would have security features that protect you from threats at home and online. Kinda like a force field for your life. If you had the smartest Wi-Fi, well, everything would work together seamlessly to keep you connected, no matter what. Xfinity. Imagine that. Restrictions apply.
Listen up, football fans. You won't want to miss this.
Right now, new Bet365 customers bet $5 and get $200 in bonus bets, win or lose. So you could turn that $200 into something bigger when you bet on moneyline, spread, totals, player props.
$200 in bonus bets when new customers bet $5. I know where I'm going to bet from now on. Download the app today and see why it's never ordinary at Bet365. Gambling problem? Call 1-800-9-WITH-IT. 21 plus only. Must be physically located in Indiana. T&Cs apply. In-app only.
Custom jewelry is not out of reach with PA Jewelers at the Farmhouse. At PA Jewelers, you can customize any piece of jewelry for that special someone. PA Jewelers at the Farmhouse in Brownsburg. Gold, diamonds, gemstones, and of course those watches from Flederman Von Riest, assembled right here in Indiana. Custom design jewelry with PA Jewelers at the Farmhouse. Custom jewelry made just for you. PA Jewelers, 3750 South Green Street in Brownsburg. 317-456-4010. PAJewelers.jewelry.
At Duke Energy, we're making Indiana's energy grid stronger and more resilient, ready for storms and growing energy demands. We're adding more power to the Indiana grid. We're using new innovations and smart technology to restore outages faster. And we're doing it all in cost-efficient ways to keep bills as low as possible while we serve you with reliable energy. Duke Energy, building a smarter energy future. Paid for by Duke Energy shareholders.
Oh no, stomach issues again?
Stomach issues?
Who are you?
Your pancreas. I could be the real reason for your diarrhea, gas, bloating, stomach pain, or loose oily stools.
I thought it was my stomach.
People often do, but any of these symptoms could mean having a condition called exocrine pancreatic insufficiency, or EPI. With EPI, the pancreas doesn't release enough enzymes to break down food, but EPI is manageable. Use the symptom checker on identifyepi.com and speak with your doctor. That's identifyepi.com. Sponsored by AbbVie.
You've got your whole life ahead of you, so choose a Medicare plan you can count on. If you're living with a chronic condition like diabetes, chronic heart failure, or a cardiovascular disorder, you might count on extra support with your health care too. That's why United Healthcare offers chronic special needs plans with extra benefits and a large provider network to choose from. Visit uhc.com/Medicare to find out if you qualify today. United Healthcare Medicare plans. It's Medicare coverage Indiana can count on. Provider network may vary in local market.
Hey, it's Big Joe for Jim's Heating and Air Conditioning, an independent American Standard Platinum customer care dealer. Jim Scott is the owner, and he's ready to take his success into Boone and Hamilton counties.
We have a lot of high-quality equipment. We do high-quality jobs. We do our own duct fabrications. We have service contracts. So with the value that we built because of our 5-star rating, the other counties, as much growth as there is, there's just not enough contractors.
Put the best to work for you at jimsheating-air.com. Jim's Heating and Air Conditioning, your trusted local independent American Standard heating and air conditioning dealer.
Coming up in 2 minutes from the Technology Recycler Studios, why Indy Metro police officers arrested 3 people earlier this month, how the weather will roll out across the state in the coming days, and gas prices across the state keep going down. Those stories are coming up next, right after Fox News on this Monday afternoon. You're listening to 93 WIBC, WIBC HD1 Indianapolis. It's 5 o'clock.
Now the rebuilding begins. I'm Lisa Brady, Fox News. That from President Trump at a summit in Egypt where more than 30 nations signed the peace plan the president says has ended the war in Gaza and offers what he calls a once-in-a-lifetime chance to put old feuds and bitter hatreds behind them.
This took 3,000 years to get to this point. Can you believe it? And it's going to hold up, too. It's going to hold up.
Among those attending the summit, Palestinian Authority President Mahmoud Abbas, only weeks after the State Department denied him a visa to speak at the UN. That summit held hours after Hamas released the last 20 living hostages, also releasing the first 4 bodies of 28 hostages believed to be dead. President Trump telling Israel's parliament,
"This is the historic dawn of a new Middle East."
Many questions remain about implementing the next phase of the peace deal, but there is also hope to expand peace.
President Trump, the deal makers, suggested an agreement with the Iranians could be a possibility.
I think Iran will come along. They've been battered and bruised, and you know they need some help. They have big sanctions, as you know, tremendous sanctions. I'd love to take the sanctions off when they're ready to talk.
Egypt's president says the Gaza agreement will turn a painful page in history. He also praised President Trump for using his power to end wars.
Fox's Mike Emanuel at the White House. Another state may be redrawing congressional maps ahead of next year's midterm elections. Republican legislative leaders in North Carolina say they plan to vote next week on a new House district map, continuing a redistricting fight that began with Texas, aiming to help Republican candidates, followed by California's plan to counter that with maps that could help Democrats win more seats. America is listening to Fox News.
93 WIBC Mobile News. On the level, on the go.
Police arrested 3 people on October 3rd. Partly cloudy skies, 74 degrees on Monument Circle. The low tonight is 52. I'm Jake McDaniel. Here's what's trending at 5:02. That's what IMPD officer Drew Brown said today.
Late September, our IMPD nuisance abatement unit provided a tip to our Indiana Crime Gun Task Force detectives regarding numerous narcotics activity and possession of firearms equipped with a machine gun conversion device.
He says Antoine Devine Jr., Johari Fields, and a teenager all face several preliminary charges, including owning a gun and dealing drugs. When police spotted the teenager, they say he tried to run off, but he was quickly apprehended. Expect a mostly dry week throughout Indiana, but
we actually do stand a better chance to finally see some rain as we go into the weekend.
Mike Ryan with the National Weather Service in Indianapolis says there could be some strong storms at times on Saturday and Sunday, but they'll need to see more data on that at this week as it continues to develop. You're paying an average of $2.84 a gallon of gas today, says AAA. That's down 15 cents from last week, down 33 cents from last month, and 24 cents below the national average. The cheapest gas is in Brownsburg at $2.31. And Indiana Hoosier head football coach Kurt Cignetti wants his team to not lose their focus after their win over Oregon. John Herrick reports.
At his weekly press conference Monday, Cignetti said it's time to rip the rearview mirror off and focus on their next opponent, the 3-3 Michigan State Spartans.
They got good design in all 3 phases of the game. They got guys that stand out, and I'm expecting their best shot. So this game gives you nothing. You got to earn everything, and it's all about our mindset and our preparation.
He's proud of the work his team has put in to get to 6-0.
But we also understand we're in a production-oriented business. What we did yesterday doesn't mean squat.
He says what's important now is their mindset and preparation. Saturday's game kicks off at 3:30 Eastern. John Herrick, 93 WIBC Mobile News.
WIBC News Time is 5:04. Your traffic and weather in 1 minute.
Why do so many foundation, basement, and crawl space companies ask for half your money up front? Could it be because that's easier to get than earning all your trust? At the Michaelis Corporation, they believe trust is earned, not demanded. That's why they do things differently. They start with a free inspection, no strings attached, to give you an honest assessment of what your home needs. No pressure, no surprises. When it's time for the work, they don't ask for a deposit or any upfront payment. Not a single dollar until the job is complete and you're 100% satisfied. That's how they've been earning trust for over 39 years. Whether it's sagging floors, moisture control, concrete repair, or a full crawl space encapsulation, you can count on Michaelis for repairs that last. Don't trust just anyone with your home. Choose the company that puts your trust first. Text or call 844-FIXED-INDY today. That's 844-FIXED-INDY. The Michaelis Corporation, building trust beneath your feet.
You've got WIBC traffic at 5:05 with Matt Bear.
Northside eastbound 465 delayed 54 minutes from Meridian over to Allisonville Road. That's because of a crash blocking 2 left lanes. Southside crash eastbound at 465 at 31 East. Left lane is closed. A slow back to South Meridian. Southbound 6570 stop and go traffic from Washington to the South Split because of construction. On the north side, westbound 465 slow from Meridian 31 past Michigan Road, and eastbound 70 slow to downtown after Harding to Meridian. Also, crash south of downtown. This is West Street south of Morris. 2-car crash from earlier this afternoon. Multiple injuries. Avoid if you can. Traffic sponsored by Grand Appliance. Shop the 95th anniversary sale at Grand Appliance to save on top brands like GE Cafe and more. Visit grandappliance.com or your local showroom for details. That's grandappliance.com. I'm Matt Bear. Follow us for instant traffic updates at WIBC Traffic.
And now here's the forecast from the American Standard Cooling Weather Center.
Mostly clear and dry for a Monday night with lows in the low to mid-50s. Tuesday, expect a warmer and bright day on tap with highs in the upper 70s with light winds and dry air in place. I'm Wish TV Storm Track 8 meteorologist Stephen Deanna for 93 WIBC.
I'm Jake McDaniel, on the level, on the go, and on WIBC.com.
Hammer and Nigel.
Can you believe these characters are weirdos?
So let's rock it!
Both Hammer and Nigel are on vacation. My name is Casey Daniels. That is Jim that is hanging out with me in the studio. Big exchange took place today, part of the first phase of the U.S. brokered peace plan to end that 2-year war in Gaza. Hamas released all the living Israeli hostages, and then Israel turned around and freed nearly 2,000 prisoners that they had. And the ceasefire began on Friday, and now you've got increased humanitarian aid entering Gaza over the weekend. Donald Trump, he went to Israel. He spoke at their parliament, and then he flew over to Egypt, where they had a summit with over 20 world leaders to discuss the next plans. And now Donald Trump is on a flight back to the United States.
And so a lot of people traveled with Trump, which, by the way, his daughter Ivanka Trump and her husband Jared Kushner were there. Israeli Ambassador Mike Huckabee was there. Special Envoy to the Middle East Steve Witkoff. Secretary of State Marco Rubio was there. Who wasn't there was J.D. Vance.
Yeah, he wasn't. Instead, he was on a lot of the Sunday shows talking about the government shutdown. Why do you think J.D. Vance didn't go?
Well, and J.D. has traveled a lot. I mean, he was, recently in Europe and Germany and the United Kingdom and dressing them down famously for, the lack of freedoms that their cultures are starting to get around to. But I'm going to guess it's a continuity of government issue. When the president says, hey, I'm going to fly to the war-torn Middle East, and I'm going to bring some of my people with them, I'm going to guess the Secret Service is like, well, you ain't taking the vice president with you.
Yeah,
not a
chance.
chance.
We're not going to put all our eggs in one basket.
Exactly. So that's likely the reason that J.D. Vance didn't travel there, which I'm sure he was not happy about. Because,
you think?
Well, as we start to look forward...
He's been a good soldier. He stayed back.
He has been a good soldier, but... as people kind of speculate on who's going to be the Republican nominee in 2028, which is only 3 years away, the front runners right now are Marco Rubio and J.D. Vance. And Marco went on this trip, and J.D. didn't. So I think you're going to start seeing this a lot more as time goes on. Kind of this battle for the spotlight between J.D. and Marco, because both of them are really performing really well at their jobs right now and really making great names for themselves. And all of that is being leveraged into what could be their political futures going forward.
One of the things that Donald Trump said was that Marco Rubio will go down as the greatest Secretary of State in the history of the United States.
Well, of course, he's Donald Trump's Secretary of State. Everything that Trump has is going to be the greatest of all time.
The greatest in
Best
history.
Secretary of State ever.
There are some more negotiations that still need to take place, including issues of governance, reconstruction, and long-term security guarantees. But speaking of secretaries of state, you remember this woman? She was the Secretary of State once. Shocker, here is Hillary Clinton actually praising Donald Trump for the peace deal.
It's a really significant first step, and I really commend President Trump and his administration, as well as Arab leaders in the region, for making the commitment to the 20-point plan and seeing a path forward for what's often called...
I cannot do that to our listeners. You heard what you needed to hear. She goes on for another 2 minutes, but we don't need it.
Here,
we don't need it.
I'm going to give you my impression of Hillary Clinton 30 seconds before that microphone opened and she gave that statement. You ready? Okay.
Can't keep it down.
I
have to say this.
I mean, I've got to give her some credit. The acting chops that she just displayed right there, because inside
she was
our guts were on fire having to say that. But hey, credit where credit is due. She came out and she said it, and she's right about that, and that was the right thing to do. So, nice job, Hillary Clinton. I guess.
Go away.
I guess.
Go back under that rock. So the Secretary of Transportation, Sean Duffy, he put a message out. He said, in the middle of a shutdown, Democrats are expected to go on a luxury retreat in Napa, complete with hot tubs, high-end dinners, and an organic vineyard. We've got air traffic controllers who are working without pay to keep our airspace safe and the shutdown and get the American people their paychecks. It kind of reminds me about what happens here in the great state of Indiana that the IEDC audit revealed. All of this travel $6.7 million in international and travel expenses in that 100-page audit that was revealed. $495 million spent on the Leap District. There are some Boone County residents who are voicing concern about what they saw as questionable expenditures and the lack of transparency. They're not the only ones.
I was going to say, Boone County residents? They got all the press on this? Yeah, no, I think everybody is raising questions about the lack of transparency in the expenditures that have been taking place. But I said this when we were filling in for Hammer and Nigel on Friday. This is what the IEDC was designed for. It was designed to be less transparent. It was designed to be able to be kind of a slush fund for the state of Indiana to be able to do these things. That's why it wasn't made an official state agency. It's kind of this quasi-agency that the state funds, but they don't have to follow all the normal state agency rules.
So WRTV has the article, and there was an op-ed that was written and by Mr. Love. And actually, Rob and I had him on our show a while ago, a few years ago. But I wanted to read part of this opinion piece that he crafted. He said, "Let us be clear. While Governor Mike Braun's audit may have reportedly found no criminal activity, that is hardly a stamp of integrity. Ethical impropriety does not need to rise to the level of criminality in order to erode public trust. Rules were clearly bent, disclosures were kept behind closed doors, and oversight was bypassed. Ordinary citizens know that if you break the rules, there are consequences."
Okay, I agree with that. But what potential consequences could there be? They've said that no rules were broken. It's not an official state agency, so it doesn't fall under the auspices of the Inspector General. I agree. It was slimy, dirty, bunch of stuff happening that we don't want happening, but I don't know how to hold anybody accountable there because I don't know that there were any rules set up, again, because it was designed to operate without any or at least very few rules.
This group that wrote the opinion piece, they say they want independent oversight free from political interference.
That's what everybody should be demanding going forward. Okay, look, what's happened has happened, and I don't think that, and I could be wrong, but I don't think there's any way to hold the people accountable that did these sort of things accountable because there's no mechanism to do that. Fine, that's in the past. I'm much more concerned about going forward. How are we going to structure this going forward so that all of these things that happened that were exposed by this audit don't happen again?
They said preserving Indiana's farmland, water, and communities requires more than ribbon cuttings and glowing press releases. It requires honest leadership, and right now, that's what's missing at the State House. All right, weddings are expensive. 6 in 10 Americans would consider a corporate sponsorship for their wedding.
Oh, I kind of like that.
The average American wedding now costs over $30,000. How... I mean, what are you going to do? You're going to go to a local business and say, "Hey, I'm getting married, and I'll put your logo on my wedding dress"? Is that what we're talking about?
Could, absolutely. Hey, this honeymoon limo is brought to you by Discount Tire.
So the people
who provided our tires for this.
The people at the wedding are going to see that it's sponsored?
I think probably what you're going to see here is that when people with a significant social media following get married, then they'll be able to push those sponsorships out on social media, and that's where their companies are going to get the most value on this. So that, hey, if influencers on social media aren't annoying enough, get ready for their sponsored wedding posts. Can't wait for that.
1 in 3 say they would invite the brand's mascot as a guest. 1 in 5 would allow the mascot to officiate the ceremony. Imagine having the Geico Gecko do your wedding.
I'd do that for nothing. Are you kidding me?
Or
having Flo from Progressive officiate my wedding? I'd pay them to do that.
The emu. What's his name?
From Liberty Mutual,
yeah.
the Limu Emu.
Right, and Doug.
Yeah. No, those are all good mascots. Great mascots. Yeah, I'd love to have those guys at my wedding.
This is the Hammer and Nigel show, and let's check in with Matt Bear and get an update on traffic.
All right, Casey crash clear north side eastbound 465 shy of Allisonville Road. Still jammed back to Meridian. 46-minute delay should subside a little bit now that the crash and the lanes have reopened. Looking at inbound 69 stopping and go 106 282nd, a 4-minute delay. Inbound 65, 5-minute delay. MLK to Meridian. Then southbound 65, 70 delayed because of construction. Michigan Street down to the south split delays at 4 minutes. Eastbound 465 south side crash at US 31. Left lane is closed. This has us backed up almost to the I-69 ramps and a delay time at 6 minutes. Traffic sponsored by Anthem Blue Cross and Blue Shield. They've teamed up with the Indiana Fever and Common Threads to provide local schools with information for nutritious meal preparation. Learn more at anthem.com/fever. Anthem Blue Cross and Blue Shield is the trade name of Anthem Insurance Companies Incorporated. I'm Matt Bear. Follow us for instant traffic updates at WIBC Traffic.
It is cloudy and 75 now in the American Standard Cooling Weather Center on 93 WIBC.
The Voice of Health Minute with Dr. Robert Prather of Holistic Integration.
One of the things that's actually very important is like the liver. The liver enzymes should be within a very certain range, which the medical profession and the disease care model has a much wider range. We're very much more specific, and if we can just bring the liver back into normal function, it's amazing how many things actually start working better. Chronic sinusitis, one of the things that we find is the liver is the main detoxifier of the body, but if the liver isn't detoxing as well as it should, it sends the toxins up to the mucus of the sinuses for detoxification and getting rid of the toxins that way. Just clearing up the liver is one of the well-known things to do for sinus problems. We get those things balanced out even though they're like, well, you know, it's my sinuses, doc. Why are you working on my liver?
Yeah, liver's kind of far from the sinuses.
Yeah, right. And it's all very important.
The Voice of Health with Dr. Robert Prather. Sundays at 8 p.m. or anytime at thevoiceofhealthradio.com.
Do you spend half your day walking or standing while working? If you have foot, knee, or low back pain, the Good Feet store wants to help you like we helped Tony.
Pain that I experience the most is foot pain from being on my feet all day. You're having to kind of talk to yourself through the whole shift, like, I got this, I can do this. Before, I felt defeated, and now it's like, all right, let's go. I'm ready. A whole new life, like sunshine coming on.
And here's Dennis.
Working at an amusement park, it's always on your feet. I just couldn't take it. I just couldn't believe that putting these arch supports in made that much of a difference that quickly. Good Feet just took that pain away, and I could do my job, and I could take care of my family. I know what my tomorrow is going to be. It's going to be positive, and it's going to be pain-free.
You deserve a better life, too. Stop into the Good Feet store today. We're located in Castleton by the Fashion Mall or in Greenwood, just off the 65.
Thanks to the Good Feet store. Thanks to the Good Feet store.
Of all the times to buy a new Lincoln, right now is the very best time at Tom Roush Lincoln. Get 0% APR for up to 48 months on 2025 Lincoln Corsair, Nautilus, or Aviator. Plus get a $1,000 Tom Roush Trade Assist bonus. So come get that new Lincoln from Tom Roush Lincoln, where our family's been serving yours for over 53 years.
Subject to credit approval. Not all buyers will qualify. See dealer for complete offer details. Offer ends 10/31/2025.
Hi, I'm Dallas, your friend and jeweler at Shane Company. You know she loves her Shane Company engagement ring, but you also want to surprise her for her birthday, anniversary, or just because she deserves it. Why not get her a bigger diamond with our easy trade-up program? We'll give you the full credit of your original natural diamond purchase toward a new one. Her new diamond only has to be $1 more. You only pay the difference. How's that for an easy trade-up? Visit us in-store or at shaneco.com. Because a friend wants you to win the gifting game. Shane Company, your friend and jeweler.
You're still glowing, flirting, grooving. You still got it. But your immune system weakens as you age, making it harder to fight flu, pneumococcal pneumonia, RSV, and COVID-19. Vaccines are a key part of any health routine and help strengthen your immune response. Ask your doctor or pharmacist which vaccines you need. Schedule in minutes at vaxassist.com. Sponsored by Pfizer.
Look, switching point of sale systems is a total nightmare, right? But here's the thing. Shopify POS makes switching easier. A Shopify POS expert, a real human being, helps with setup and data migration. No need to be your own tech support, because with Shopify POS, you get support for free. You'll also get a free card reader and 25% off POS subscription fees. Switching your POS is easier with Shopify. Eligibility requirements apply. To learn more, visit shopify.com/switch now. That's shopify.com/switch now.
Inside Indiana Business Radio, the news you need to get ahead.
Indiana's business news leader, weekdays at 6:32 a.m. and 5:56 p.m. on WIBC.
The Attorney General's Unclaimed Property Division has over $800 million just waiting to be claimed. Text Tamara and Nigel to 46220 or visit indianaunclaimed.gov to claim yours today.
You're listening to the Hammer and Nigel Show.
The question is, how did Costco quietly build a multi-billion-dollar clothing empire?
Because they're Costco. There's nothing they can't do. Seriously, I mean, they're the #1 hot dog producer in the country.
Are they really?
Absolutely, because the $1.50 hot dog and Coke at Costco. I think they're
producer or seller?
Producer. They bought their own factory.
Oh,
so that's the thing that Costco does with these sorts of things.
I didn't know they were making the hot dogs.
Yeah, I'm almost certain they're making the hot dogs. Same thing with chicken. They're one of the biggest chicken producers because of the $5 rotisserie chicken, and they own the production factory for that as well. So if Costco wants to go all in on something or really make it a focus, they have such massive scale that they can, eventually become like one of the top producers of that category in the country.
What a good deal the pumpkin pie is there.
$6.
$5.99. That thing is huge.
It's almost 4 pounds.
4
Just
pounds.
so you know, we bought one recently.
It went bad. We couldn't eat it fast enough.
We won't make that mistake on the second one. The one when I go out tomorrow to Costco and get another 4-pound pumpkin pie for $6,
right?
We're not going to make the mistake of leaving it out and having it go bad on us. We'll fix that.
All right, now I'm going to ask you a question. I'm going to be very vulnerable.
Oh, hit me.
Did you eat any of that?
I did. Yes, you did. Look, you were very aggressive in your pumpkin pie consumption, I get it. It's delicious. I had 2 pieces of it.
Okay.
Yeah, so 2 pieces out of what are probably 10 or 12 that were eaten. But that was over a several-day period.
Yeah, that's why I said I was going to be vulnerable. There's the fat joke. It's me.
Yeah, it was very, very good, very delicious. And look, we are coming up on the greatest season of the year, and that is the eating season.
Yeah.
We are in it right now. It starts with football and tailgating and snacks, watching the game. It obviously peaks at Thanksgiving, and then it's still pretty good as we get through Christmas and New Year's. But this is the eating season coming, and we've all got to, we got to get ready for it, got to loosen our pants, stretch those stomachs, hydrate, drink a lot of water, because I am going to throw it back this year.
Thanksgiving is your favorite, isn't it?
Absolutely. Not even close. It is my favorite holiday by a mile. For starters, it's a 4-day weekend. That's a #1. Not bad. That's a nice base that you get to lay down there for Thanksgiving. The food is spectacular, and it is like one of my favorite foods in general, like types of food, like Thanksgiving dinner. We've made Thanksgiving dinner outside of Thanksgiving, like in July before. That's how much I like. So I love everything about it. Not only do I love turkey and cranberry, but all the sides and all the desserts are fantastic. The alcohol consumption is heavy on Thanksgiving Day. You sit around and you just watch football and eat all day long. And then the great thing about it is, you got 3 more days that you don't have to go to work. So you do it all again Friday, and then you do it Saturday, and then you do it Sunday. It's 4-day binge fest of some of the most delicious food ever invented. Got me worked up. Thanksgiving's the best.
Yeah, Costco already has some of their Thanksgiving food out.
Pumpkin pies
are
out.
They generated approximately $9.7 billion in apparel sales. That's how this conversation began, by the way. And why is it? Well, they have become one of the world's largest clothing retailers. And they say, they get these bulk brands. And they claim part of the fun is that, like Columbia or Gap or even their own Kirkland signature label, people don't know what they're going to have there. And that's kind of part of the treasure hunting with the clothing at Costco. Just like some of their food items, you don't know if they regularly stock it. That happens with the clothes as well.
Yeah, that can be annoying when it comes to, some sort of food item that you always buy at Costco, and then you show up one day and they're like, nope, we stopped stocking that. But for clothing, it's a little bit different. Yeah, whenever I go into Costco, when you take that walk in with your cart there and you walk right by the clothing section, I always give it a nice eyeball to see if there's anything that catches my eye.
Do you own Costco clothes?
I do. My winter jacket I bought at Costco.
Okay.
It's a great jacket. I think it was like $25. That's the other thing, too. And I get it. It's become like this, meme where suburban dads get all their clothes at Costco. Don't care. Love it. So, yeah, I got my winter jacket at Costco. I own 2 sweatshirts from Costco. The other thing that you got to keep your eye on, too, now these aren't as cheap, but they generally have a lot of good sports apparel, too. Like there's Purdue gear. I always see IU and Notre Dame gear, and sometimes there's Colts gear at Costco. Yeah, don't sleep on the Costco clothes.
Back in June, Lululemon sued Costco, accusing them of duping their customers with fake Lululemon type clothing.
Knockoffs.
Yeah.
It was called...
And Costco was like, okay, cool. People think we have Lululemon here. Whatever.
Right. Thank you for suing us and drawing attention so that people are so confused that they don't know the difference between your ultra uber expensive Lululemon and our $10 stretch pants. What was it called? Zuzu Lemon?
Right.
Is that how they covered it up?
So they say their procurement involves direct manufacturer deals, licensing partnerships, and buying overruns or excess inventory from retailers. That's how they get their clothes, and they were completely on board with Lululemon suing them.
Jackets and sweatshirts, I think, is where Costco hits it out of the park as far as their clothes go.
Hey, how about Tiger Woods having another surgery?
This guy.
Back surgery on Friday to replace a disc in his back. His seventh back surgery since 2014.
And only one of those was because of the car accident.
Yeah.
All the rest of them were just the wear and tear on his body and playing golf. Hey, you know what? 2019 and the Masters was wonderful and fantastic, and we got that magical moment where Tiger came back from all these injuries and for one weekend was the greatest golfer in the world, winning the greatest golf tournament in the world again. But those days are long gone, and it's going to be... what he's going to be relegated now to is just kind of these token appearances at some events and maybe a major here and there, and hopefully we'll get to see him on the senior tour. But best of luck to Tiger in his recovery. But any thoughts of him coming back and being able to seriously compete in the PGA?
You think that's done?
It is long, long gone.
He was inducted into the World Golf Hall of Fame in 22.
He deserves all those honors.
Where is that?
I have no idea.
World Golf Hall of Fame. I don't know.
I'm going to guess it's in Florida.
Probably.
There's a lot of golfing taking place in Florida, but the Tiger is no longer going. We got our one off, and that was the 2019 Masters. It was wonderful. It was fantastic. It's not going to be repeated again.
Over the weekend, it was announced that actress Diane Keaton passed away at the age of 79. So, okay, here are the 6 essential Diane Keaton films.
Oh, boy.
The Godfather.
Which she's barely in. Let's be honest here. I mean, it's a pretty small role in The Godfather, but okay, fine.
We've got a clip of it.
Is it true?
Don't ask me about my business.
No.
This one time. This one time, I'll let you ask me about my affairs.
Is it true?
No.
I guess we both need a drink, huh?
She was also in Annie Hall, Looking for Mr. Goodbar, Reds, Baby Boom, Something's Gotta Give.
Look, I am clear. We had this conversation off the air. I could not name a Diane Keaton movie.
Really?
I sat here, I was like, I'm aware of her as an actress. I'm aware that she exists. I could not name any movie. I forgot she played a bit part in The Godfather.
She was in Father of the Bride?
Father of the Bride. After we looked it up,
Steve Martin?
That's probably the role or the movie that I would best know Diane Keaton.
She was also in that movie with the other women. Goldie Hawn was in it. Allison, do you know what I'm talking about? Like the Second Wife movie? Yeah.
See, even you don't know. I'm not going to take the full blame on this.
No.
Look, I'm sure she was a very lovely person. I'm sure she was a fabulous actress. She just wasn't making movies for me.
No, that's true.
The First Wives Club.
First Wives, that was it. What did I say? Second Wife?
Yeah, you're close.
I was close, yeah.
Hard to believe I wasn't aware of that one.
They say that she's known for her honesty, humor, and emotional complexity, but here's the one thing about her. She never really played the part of the glamorous movie star. She was never like the knockout, the bombshell. It was always more of these
She played a
quirky people.
Blue collar,
Yeah.
hard hat, lunch pail sort of actress. I like that. That's just, again, she just wasn't making movies for me.
Let's get you an update on the news. It's 93 WIBC.
93 WIBC Mobile News. On the level, on the go.
It's now been nearly 2 weeks since the government shutdown. You've got partly cloudy skies and 74 degrees on Monument Circle, lows tonight in the lower 50s. I'm Jake McDaniel. Here's what's trending at 531. How about that? Was after Senate Democrats rejected the Republican funding plan. New York Congresswoman Claudia Tenney told Fox Business's network Kudlow Special Edition.
We already made the concessions. We got a bunch of Republicans to vote for a continuing resolution at Biden level funding, which was a major accomplishment thanks to the help of President Trump.
Senate Minority Leader Chuck Schumer and the Democrats are holding firm, saying they won't provide the votes needed to reopen the government unless there's a fair deal to extend the expiring Obamacare health subsidies. This shutdown is now the 5th longest in history. The longest lasted 35 days under President Trump's first term between December 2018 and January 19. An Uber meant to drop someone at work release landed them straight behind bars. Ryan Hedrick reports.
Isaiah Johnson climbed into the front seat of an Uber in Gary last week and headed to the Lake County Community Correction Center, Kimbrough. But the ride didn't go according to plan. The woman driving the car says things took a weird turn when Johnson started making weird comments and then repeatedly exposed himself. Feeling uncomfortable, she pulled the car over and told him to get out and called the cops. Johnson is now facing misdemeanor charges. State police released the information on Sunday. Ryan Hedrick, 93 WIBC Mobile News.
Amazon, OpenAI, and Google are all rolling out a new wave of agentic artificial intelligence assistants.
Amazon has introduced Quick Suite, which is the agentic AI application that AWS users can use to automate tasks. Competition is heating up. On Thursday, Google launched Gemini Enterprise. It's powered by the tech giant's AI models and allows users to ask questions about their companies, data, documents, and applications, all in a very conversational manner. And then OpenAI, they've unveiled a new set of tools that are capable of carrying out multi-step tasks, including research, content creation, and scheduling.
And that's Fox Business's Madison Allworth reporting. AWS's vice president of AI told the Claiming Countdown last week that Quick Suite will be able to access all of the user's documents. WIBC News Time is 5:33. Your traffic now with Matt Bear.
All right, Jake, Northside crash did clear. Eastbound 465 before Allisonville Road. Stop and go traffic remains back to Westfield Boulevard. Also, Northside eastbound 465 stop and go traffic after Michigan Road over to US 31 Meridian. Inbound 65 4-minute delay. MLK 2 Meridian Street and southbound 6570 delayed 3 minutes. Michigan Street down to the south split. Also, a serious crash just as West Street south of Morris Street. 2 cars earlier this afternoon and multiple injuries reported, not to mention somebody was trapped inside of a vehicle. Please avoid, this is West Street between Morris and Raymond Street. Traffic sponsored by Indy Decorative Concrete. Transform your backyard this fall with Indy Decorative Concrete. Get a free outdoor furniture set with their best stamped concrete patio package. Hurry. Offer ends November 1st. Visit IndyDecorativeConcrete.com for details. I'm Matt Bear. Follow us for instant traffic updates at WIBC Traffic.
Thank you, Matt. And now the forecast from the American Standard Cooling Weather Center.
We're in for a quiet, mostly clear and chilly Monday night with low temperatures falling into the low to mid 50s. And then we're in for a warmer and bright Tuesday. High temperatures by Tuesday afternoon will be in the upper 70s with dry air and light winds in place. But then we take a step backwards with our temperatures by Wednesday in the middle of the work week, as high temperatures only get into the upper 60s to lower 70s by Wednesday afternoon. I'm Wish TV Storm Track 8 meteorologist Stephen Deanna for 93 WIBC.
I'm Jake McDaniel on the level, on the go, and on WIBC.com.
You're listening to the Hammer and Nigel Show.
Hammer and Nigel are on vacation. My name is Casey Daniels. That is the dude, Jim, hanging with me. And over the weekend, she's out there. She is out there doing it. She is selling it. She wants you to buy it. Are you picking up what she is throwing down?
You sold me. Well, I don't know who it is, but I'm taking it.
Kamala Harris.
Oh, no. See, that's how good of a sales job you did.
Would you like to retract your statement?
I almost bought Kamala Harris there for a second because you were such a good salesperson on it. Turns out I'm not signing on the dotted line.
She's been out promoting her memoir 107 Days, and she was in Chicago, and security had to remove some protesters. And Senator Mark Kelly, he was on, what was he on? Meet the Press. And he was asked the question if he thought that she would be a good candidate in 2028. And listen to this response.
Do you think that Kamala Harris would be a strong candidate in 2028?
Candidate, yeah, absolutely. Yeah, I mean, she was the nominee last time. I think
you would encourage her to run.
I think she would be incredibly strong.
Good candidate? Good candidate.
He has got to be pushing to be her vice president if she runs again. There's no reason that somebody with an unbiased opinion or doesn't have something to gain on their own personally from this would say that Kamala Harris would be a good candidate. She barely got any votes in the 2020 primary.
You mean when she was installed?
In the 2020 primary, when she lost to Biden, she barely got any votes there. She got no votes in the primary in 2024 and got boat raced by Donald Trump. And now somebody like Mark Kelly, a sitting U.S. senator, is like, oh, yeah, she'd be a great candidate. Yeah, no, you're bucking for a cabinet position. That's the only reason those words are coming out of your mouth.
Allison, can you play that again? Because I want you to listen to the way he answers this. Like, would she be a good candidate?
Like he's surprised.
Not the actual president, but a candidate.
Do you think that Kamala Harris would be a strong candidate in 2028?
Candidate, yeah, absolutely.
Candidate? Sure. Sure. Do I think she has the ability to sign some paperwork to run for president? Absolutely she does.
Yeah, so what? Are they're just going to keep pushing her until they realize that, Gavin Newsom isn't it?
Nobody.
Isn't it? What's going on?
Nobody is advocating. This is the first time I've heard anybody of any political prominence come out here and say, yes, I think Kamala Harris should run in 2028.
So taking a look at Real Clear Politics, they've got polling up for 2028. They break it down between Democrat and Republican.
Okay, who you got?
For Democrat, at 25% is Gavin Newsom. He's in the lead, followed by Harris at 20%, and then Buttigieg 11%, AOC 8%, J.B. Pritzker 4.7%, and Josh Shapiro at 3.8%. So
she was the standard bearer for the party 1 year ago. And now a poll has her a distant second behind Gavin Newsom. No, she's not running again. And if she does, she'll get her clock cleaned in the primaries just like she did in 2020.
So I mentioned that protesters were interrupting her book tour, and then she was on what show is this? I don't know, one of those late night guys. She was asked who is the leader of the Democrat Party, and this is her answer.
Who's leading the Democratic Party? I'm just curious.
There are lots of leaders. And
there's generally a leader of the Democratic Party. That's the leader of the Democratic Party. And who comes to mind?
I think there are a lot of, I'm not going to go through names because then I'm going to leave somebody out and then I'm going to hear about it.
She won't or can't say who is the leader because, yikes.
Yeah, if she does decide to run, so you're boxed into either saying, well, I'm the leader of the Democrat Party, and that comes across as
She knew she couldn't say Chuck Schumer.
She couldn't say Chuck Schumer. She can't say Gavin Newsom because she might end up running against him in the primaries in a few years.
And how about what happened with Katie Porter, who's running for governor in California?
What do you and Rob talk about all the time? If you just let these politicians talk long enough, they will show you what they are. I have never seen a politician completely torpedo their political future in 24 hours the way Katie Porter did. And CNN did some polling on this, and I think she lost almost 30 points in her race for governor. She's running for governor. She was at like 40%, and now she's at like 15%.
Yeah, isn't she losing to somebody who hasn't even officially announced they're running?
Yeah, she went from 40% in first place down to 25% in second place, and the guy in front of her hasn't even said that he's running for governor of California. And if you don't know who Katie Porter is, she kind of made a name for herself I don't know, over the last 6 or 7 years, she was really good at creating sound bites. So she would sit on these committees, and it's similar to the way Josh Hawley does it for the Republicans. She would set up these gotcha questions for these people that were in front of these committees in Congress, and then it would make for this great 90-second video clip that could be pushed out on Facebook and Twitter and Instagram and TikTok, and she was great at that. But it turns out that's all she was good at.
Yeah, governing is longer than 90 seconds, though.
Well, doing anything else. So she sits down with this interview with this reporter in California to talk about the gubernatorial race and just goes off on this reporter, comes across as really snarky, kind of making fun of the reporter. Lasted about 5 minutes, and it was just an utter disaster. And then immediately following that, within 24 hours of that story breaking, somebody leaked an old interview that she was doing during COVID, so it was kind of like
Zoom,
a
right?
Zoom interview, and somebody from her team can be seen kind of walking across behind her, and she stops the interview immediately, starts cursing them out, says, "Get out of my shot." She has absolutely cratered her entire political ambitions in one weekend. It was a total disaster for Katie Porter.
Now, when we look at the Republican presidential potential nominees for 2028, they go like this.
Hold on, let me guess.
This is from Real Clear Politics. It's a polling average, by the way. They take all these different polls and aggregate them and then put them into one big one.
Can I guess the top three?
Yeah, give it a shot.
So J.D. Vance, number one.
Yes, at 47%.
Marco Rubio, number two.
No, he's third.
Number two then is...
If I say no property taxes, does that tell you who it is?
DeSantis.
Yeah.
DeSantis still showing up. Good for him.
10%. Marco Rubio at 9%. Ramaswamy 5%. Nikki Haley still showing up too at 4%. And then Ted Cruz.
Is she?
At the bottom.
4%. Is she really showing up at 4%? My guess is that's within the margin of error. Could be 0% for Nikki Haley.
So let's talk about what's going on with cable TV. They're basically down to 5 channels. Nielsen's weekly report showing that there's not a whole lot of channels that are showing up for people. You've got Fox News, CNN, and MSNBC.
So those are like the 3 news channels that people are watching.
Sports networks, ESPN, and Fox Sports 1. And then for non-news, non-sports, you've got basically 4 channels. HGTV, the Food Network, TLC, and then the Hallmark Channel.
Man, Hallmark Channel, have they found their niche or what? Let's put together some sloppy rom-com movies and just crank them out and run them all year long and heavy up on Christmas. That's about the Hallmark Channel. That's their thing, and it's apparently at least keeping them slightly relevant.
It's working for them, I guess, right?
But the point of this story is the vast majority of cable channels, if you still have cable or something like YouTube TV, which is what we have, you've got 200 channels. People are only watching 6 or 7 of them, and that's about it. And nobody is watching the hundreds and hundreds of other channels that are out there.
Now, I had mentioned earlier, somebody said that they wanted to hear, I think, fart jokes or fart discussion or something. And I said, okay, we'll get to it.
Oh, somebody tweeted at you and said, hey, since you're filling in for Hammer and Nigel, this is what I want.
And so right now I'm in charge, and I want to introduce you to Melanie. And Hammer, oh my gosh. He would say, Casey, no way are we putting a menopausal woman on the Hammer and Nigel show.
Well, should have shown up to work today then, I guess.
But here's the caveat. This woman, she mentions boobs.
Hello, and welcome to all new and existing members of the We Do Not Care Club. I started this club for all women in perimenopause, menopause, and postmenopause. We are putting the world on notice that we simply just do not care much anymore. Let's go ahead and get started with today's announcements.
We do not care.
We do not care if we sneeze and happen to pass gas at the same time.
Fart.
We are concentrating on not peeing ourselves. Can't have both. We do not care if we take a picture of everything in order to zoom in on the words. We do not care if we wrote something on the to-do list that we just did. We did it, so we are marking it off.
I like that.
We do not care if we took a PTO last week. We'll take another one this week if we want to.
Nigel!
Are they Nigel?
We do not care if we have asked you the same question 13 times. We do not remember the answer. Say it again.
Tell me again.
We do not care if we've been binge watching the same cooking show for 5 hours. We don't want to cook. We want to watch other people cook.
That's right.
We do not care that we clean our cell phone screen by rubbing it on our boobs.
Boobs! There it is.
Works.
Farts and boobs. You got them both in there.
We do not care if our eyes are shut. We are listening to that program. Don't touch the remote.
That's right.
I do that.
This concludes our announcements. For our new and existing members, go ahead and put in the comments what we do not care about today so I can add that to our list. Thank you.
It's the We Do Not Care Club.
I'm a member. Sign me up.
I am too. It is the Hammer and Nigel Show. It's 93 WIBC.
At Duke Energy, we're making Indiana's energy grid stronger and more resilient, ready for storms and for our region's growing energy demands. We're upgrading nearly 20,000 poles, adding more power to the Indiana grid, and using new innovations to assess damage more quickly, speeding our response to storms. We're also modernizing the energy grid with self-healing technology to automatically reroute power around damage to help restore outages faster, sometimes in less than a minute. And we're using smart technology to give you more insight on the energy you use at home to help you save. Daily usage charts on our website or mobile app. Usage alerts and home energy reports to keep you in the know. And we're committed to doing everything we do in cost-efficient ways so we can keep bills as low as possible while we serve you with reliable energy when you need us most. Duke Energy, building a smarter energy future. Paid for by Duke Energy shareholders.
20 ribeyes for $35. That's 20 ribeyes for $35 at 2 locations in Indianapolis going on now. 20 ribeyes for only $35 in the Hardee's parking lot near Walmart at West 86th Street and Michigan Road. Just look for the big truck. Also in the Hardee's lot at the corner of Franklin Road and Pendleton Pike. Also on the big truck is cases of T-bones, fillets, New York strips, burgers, and a whole lot more. Big truck sale. Marinated chicken breasts too. Don't wait. Big steak sale at 2 different locations. In the Hardee's parking lot near Walmart at West 86th Street and Michigan Road. Also in the Hardee's lot at the corner of Franklin Road and Pendleton Pike. 20 ribeyes for just $35. Don't wait. Everything must go. Last chance this week. Big truck sale. That's 20 ribeyes for $35. West 86th Street and Michigan Road, and the second location in the Hardee's parking lot at the corner of Franklin Road and Pendleton Pike. Get there before the truck is gone.
Our electric bills have increased as much as $50 each month. Governor Mike Braun is driving bills even higher. Instead of helping families, Governor Braun is doubling down on costly coal, gas, and nuclear. That means more pricey power plants that Hoosiers like us have to pay for. Utilities get richer, we pay more. Something has to give. Go to StopMikesHikes.com today to send Governor Braun a message. Hoosiers need affordable energy, not a blank check for greedy utilities. Paid for by Citizens Action Coalition.
Oh no, stomach issues again?
Stomach issues?
Who are you?
Your pancreas. I could be the real reason for your diarrhea, gas, bloating, stomach pain, or loose oily stools.
I thought it was my stomach.
People often do, but any of these symptoms could mean having a condition called exocrine pancreatic insufficiency, or EPI. With EPI, the pancreas doesn't release enough enzymes to break down food, but EPI is manageable. Use the symptom checker on identifyepi.com and speak with your doctor. That's identifyepi.com. Sponsored by AbbVie.
Hey, Mr. C, it's me. Well, I just picked up the ring. I actually went to Hellsberg. Thanks for that recommendation. Kate's gonna love that hers is from the same jeweler you got Mrs. C's ring from. They were so helpful throughout the whole process. They even knew your family by name, and the ring looks great. Anyways, I just couldn't wait to let you guys know. Call me back and wish me luck.
Hellsberg, designed with care and craft since 1915. Shop in store or at hellsberg.com.
Tune in Saturdays 9 to 1 for the Home and Garden Show for advice and fun. Brought to you by Michaelis. Water, storms, fire, and wet basements. Life happens. Michaelis happens to help you through it.
Macy's Backstage is a whole department inside your Macy's store where you can find the latest looks all for under $30. With new arrivals every day, you never know what you'll find. Find a location at macy'sbackstage.com.
Don't wait to hear it from someone else.
I says, oh yeah? And she says, yeah, that's right.
The WIBC Daily Newsletter brings you the headlines, videos, and moments everyone will be talking about next.
And here is your traffic update with WIBC's Matt Bear.
What's up, Casey? Looking at a crash. It's on the south side, eastbound 465 at US 31 entrance ramp is partially blocked from 31 to eastbound. You can still make your entrance. It's good. Southbound 6570 stop and go Michigan Street into the south split because of construction. And on the south side, please continue to stay clear from West Street south of Morse. A serious crash from earlier this afternoon, leaving one person in a critical condition. That is a spot to avoid. Again, West Street south of Morse or north of Raymond. Traffic sponsored by Indy Decorative Concrete. Transform your backyard this fall with Indy Decorative Concrete. Get a free outdoor furniture set with their best stamped concrete patio package. Hurry! Offer ends November 1st. Visit IndyDecorativeConcrete.com for details. I'm Matt Bear. Follow us for instant traffic updates at WIBC Traffic.
We do have clouds now and 75 in the American Standard Cooling Weather Center. It's 93 WIBC.
You're listening to the Hammer and Nigel Show.
Sora, S-O-R-A. That's what it's called. It's OpenAI's new text-to-video app. What it does is it lets users create AI-generated videos, and it can feature yourself, your friends, celebrities, and now something that's very popular, historical figures. The app includes consent controls, which allows users to restrict other people from using their likeness. But right now, Sora has over 1 million downloads. So this does raise some concerns about fakes and the use of deceased people, deceased public figures who don't have the ability to consent to their likeness being used.
In the last few weeks, these videos have popped up everywhere. I mean, I'm seeing them all over social media. It started with what looked like body cam footage from police officers, and so it would be this police officer that walks up to a car, and it turns out there's a golden retriever in the car, and it's like, hey, do you know why I pulled you over? Show me your license and registration. And then the car speeds off really quick, and so it's like a joke and it's funny. But now what I'm seeing are historical figures in very odd, interesting places. So for example, I saw one over the weekend that was WWE style, and it was George Washington and Abraham Lincoln in the wrestling ring body slamming each other. And, you know, they still look a little fake, but, man, they are getting real good and looking better. The other one I love, John F. Kennedy being a club DJ.
Right, at the club.
With Marilyn Monroe right behind him.
Right.
Absolutely hilarious.
I've seen one where he's denying the moon landing as well. There's also one of Eisenhower confessing to bribery. Robin Williams' daughter, Zelda, she said she's condemned him. She's like, I don't want to see this stuff. Don't use my dad in any, and quit sending them to me.
My response is, I get that. Good luck stopping it. Yeah.
It is the Hammer and Nigel Show. It's 93 WIBC.
You know, one of the biggest differences about Indy Decorative Concrete, other than the fact that they do fantastic custom concrete patio work, the best in Indy. The other difference is they actually have W-2 employees, real concrete finishers that work for them, no subcontractors. I think that says something a lot about a local concrete company. Many of the same guys for years. Mario Sr.'s been there since 2009. Indy Decorative Concrete did such a fantastic job replacing my old porch and sidewalk. It gave a whole brand new look and feel to my front yard and my house. They took a basic sidewalk and porch and turned it into this custom stamped concrete area with more space and an awesome, unique look. My wife and I can't believe how amazing our new front porch and sidewalk looks. IndyDecorativeConcrete.com. Whether it's a new patio, sidewalk, porch, whatever, don't do anything until you've checked out my friends at IndyDecorativeConcrete.com.
Fostech is American-made firearms made right here in Indiana. American craftsmanship meets cutting-edge innovation. Their lightweight AR-15s are incredible, and they don't